Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Hello. And then how do I get the audio to turn back on?
You probably want to make
this audio. The audio from the computer.
Okay, so
it says desktop audio right there.
So, you know what I mean? Undo that.
Hello.
It's not responding. It's probably still set
Just really
other.
No. Oily. Okay, anchovies.
Even if you have in water, they are.
Now it's working. There we go.
Is it kind of a tuna flavor?
Much lighter.
Okay, even lighter. All right.
Tuna's
There you go.
Yeah.
just like salmon. You know what I mean? It's to like a saltwater whitefish.
Oh, okay. More like a halibut or a cod.
Not like that far,
But closer. Closer to that spectrum than a pink.
We can mild, but still a little bit salt, and then you can get it with olive oil or smoked or hot Louisiana sausage. It's made in
Heads
Poland.
on.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just one of the base for larger mammals, etc. That's one of the base proteins on the planet, right? Those tiny,
Grab it.
to
Eat it. Yeah, for sure. Huh.
Yeah, but I don't mind.
So what brought you? Just a little buzzing?
I think I was fast. I'm like, typically I'll make eggs and something. I was like,
Soak up the stuff.
So, are you guys gonna, when you get home, are you gonna watch the game, or are you gonna go on YouTube and let's look for the trailer commercials and stuff?
I don't know. I got episode 4
that's a
done.
thing.
Right on. Oh, are we streaming too, or are you just recording?
No, I'm just recording.
Okay.
And then recording, where do I push record?
It's over on right down there where it says record, up above towards the top. It says record. There you go.
That's a good idea about the cans, though. I got to start doing that because oftentimes I'll go in and be like, "Oh, I should."
Jeffrey setting up his computer to also record.
All right.
Hey, we're practicing.
Yeah, I mean it's good practice for using the OBS and then which is great software. There are
for free software.
For free software, it's amazing. There's a lot of plugins and things you can add to it as well.
Stuff like that,
Seems to be the most popular is Streamlabs, which is a variant on this.
Streamlabs,
And it's that plus it adds a bunch of extra bells and whistles.
It was all right.
It has like bots. You can add like little chat bots, and you can add. And then you can.
Were you gonna ride your bike up there?
Then you can do multi-stream, so you can stream on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, cool. And whereas OBS can only do
one at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have
there for free.
Yeah, right.
I mean, unless it's prime.
Plus there are places out there, if you know where to look, you can probably find, and I don't remember the acronym, but there's the stream.
Have you been working the door?
And the server. If you have a custom one, you can actually have it do whatever you want. But like the one I was telling you about last night that allowed you to do multiple, and then have the chat room all be connected on all the different platforms.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, which then takes the need of the government of having to respond to all of those people all at once.
Yeah.
It gives an interface there.
It gives an interface where all the different platforms can communicate with each other.
I like it.
The other thing that's really cool is if you set up a Discord server, you can have the chat from the video, the live stream, also be on the Discord channel as well.
I know we call it micro whiskey or small
Discord
brewery.
is like a gaming
so I've got like
chat platform.
4 or 5 or 6.
It's for doing like voice channel, and so if you want to have all your friends on the same audio for your live stream,
Christmas is coming.
they have to jump in on
There you go.
Discord.
I know it's open.
With that,
And even under
that
the tiny
Restream, I think is what it was called. It has the ability to connect all the chat rooms, like all the different platforms together, and then you can also add not just the video platform,
combination
add
is
the
Crystal
Discord chat.
I never
want to
had
have
Crystal
specified
I don't think I
on there as well. So you have it all in your Discord as well as on the
Every other Marvel
platforms that have the video
universe
stream. It's really cool.
That would require a couple of monitors. Like,
You can
I
still
mean,
get it.
the more monitors you have access to, the easier it is to kind of like organize everything. That's one reason why I brought that extra monitor down. That way you have a secondary monitor for things.
Yeah.
You can actually set it up sideways too, so you can have it like
nice
long
to
ways.
meet you.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about bringing my 65-inch
Yeah,
television down
figure it
there,
out.
put it onto a rack.
It is nice to
right?
meet
Yeah.
A stand.
Yeah.
on the
Good
wall
sport,
or anything,
man.
but something
Yeah, yeah.
movable that I can move it into the back.
There you go. That, I thought about
Chase away any patrons.
I have a 32-inch that I haven't been using since Captain Bob.
Are you,
his dad built TV when his dad passed, and it's just
Did they come up to the house and watch it? Oh, they're down there.
like,
That's right.
yeah, Captain Bob.
So
It keeps a lot of people away if you don't
He's
have
such a
TV.
brilliant mind.
He is.
is that what it is? Is that how you do it?
I love building with him.
No, they just put a sign out front that says no
We don't
TV.
really
My
have a
boys, we
TV.
built it with
All right, next
fence
house.
that's at the whistle stop. And
Okay.
he brought down a table saw for the table
Don't wanna talk.
saw. And we spent like hours drilling
We gotta
and
have
cutting
conversation.
and putting together that fence.
God, do you at least have
And
snacks?
he's the guy
Yeah,
who-
sardines.
Building because he's got all those classic sayings that you say that when you hurt your thumb or
Triscuits are
those
good.
euphemisms that
He is the most.
They're that little house
the
on
most
the prairie.
ADHD Gen Xer I've ever met.
Almost close to heart attack, but not quite.
and he loves
Still a little crumbly.
Oh, here comes the food,
he
man.
loves himself a little
Way better.
Oh, you are just
Maestro.
maestro.
And, oh my God, what more? He gave us more stuff this time.
We got the mac and cheese.
Right
We
on.
got the pastrami.
Oh man.
We got the chopped cheese. Those are the only two beefs today.
Nice.
Then we have this grilled turkey. We have a chicken burrito.
Yeah, you're gonna
we have
kill
a
me.
chicken Philly. And then we have two chicken wings, fries underneath, and one fillet of catfish.
You are the
Oh
man.
my God, dude.
Would you do me a
A
favor
special place in heaven.
and walk over with that one more time?
Yeah, please. And this is the better side. This side you can't see this side.
Yeah, so bring it in and set it right there.
I'm gonna have this
I'm gonna have
facing
you
you.
walking towards
What a
me.
guy. Ah, man. He'll
What
get
he
his,
put up with for us.
Hey, you know what? That's a good call, Jeff.
IMDb status now. No, you're boss.
You know that Super Bowl platter.
Your boss.
Oh wow.
Kenny,
Did you
look at that.
did you
What do you
bring
got here?
did you bring a
Man,
side
we
of
have a
lactate
little
for me?
catfish, couple wings. We got a chicken burrito. We have a grilled turkey sandwich. We have our Mike's special pastrami on rye.
What a guy.
We did a chicken Philly and a chopped cheese, and we have fries underneath somewhere down there. And then our famous mac and cheese.
Do you have a side of lactate too?
No, you don't need that with
No,
this.
no,
You'll
no.
be fine.
This is magic. This is magic.
I'll just-
Thank you, Kenny.
After I have
Main
that,
City Market, downtown Renton.
After I-
the corner of
Thank you, Ken.
3rd
after I
and
have
Burnett.
that mac and cheese, I'm gonna go blow up his bathroom.
Excellent.
So good.
These are napkins. So what happens with these is if you make a little mess or anything,
Clean it up.
wipe yourself with this.
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
No. We have good manners.
Clean it up.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you, sir. Oh my gosh.
Was this anybody's or is this empty?
I don't know.
Oh, that's mine. Thank you.
Excellent. Geez, that's great.
Diving in. I told him less beef this time.
There you go.
What? Why would you do that?
What did you tell him?
A little less beef this time.
That's what she said.
Thank you for going there first.
Geez, that's great. I feel very lucky to be here with you fellas. Thanks.
Indeed.
Totally.
This is good stuff.
Insane. Kenny is such a wonderful chef,
man.
such a good human being.
Yeah, are there specific spots in heaven where chefs go? You know what I mean? And cooks, you know what I mean?
general?
In general.
All chefs go to heaven.
Yeah,
Except
something
for-
like that.
Except for some who have the egos the size of
Yeah.
Jupiter.
Ramsey.
Yeah, right.
Stuff like that. Back
And that comes from the training, I think.
I would
That's
think.
where you
Some
get
weird
trained to
tradition,
have
yeah.
some sort of, like the menu. You gotta listen.
My cafe said all chefs go to heaven.
Just miserable.
Oh, Jeff?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
right.
It's not my call to make.
Crazy.
And didn't that come down to a cheeseburger? Have you guys seen that?
What?
Oh, yeah.
The chef with Ray Fiennes?
No.
Ray Fiennes is the chef at an exclusive invite only.
Super exclusive.
Super exclusive. It's on an island. It's got this beautiful setup, a dining room and an exhibition kitchen. He's got probably about 10, 15 staff, all making your courses. And there is a part in that at the end, and I'll just ruin it for you, where the lead actress convinces him to make her a cheeseburger because she wasn't hungry. She's the only one that's allowed to leave, and she takes the boat, and as she's driving the boat out, she slows it down and goes out on the front of the boat. It's dark, and then that whole facility explodes into a ball of flames, and everybody in there dies, and it's all a story that builds up to that. Then she just sits there and takes a bite of the most perfect cheeseburger.
And that's how the chef got his start, right? He was making cheeseburgers or something. And
Well-
she would convince, like, don't you want to get back to just that base?
Well, she manipulated him in a way because when she was out walking around she wasn't supposed to, she snuck out. And then she got into his room.
That's
and
where she saw the cheeseburgers.
She saw the photograph of him smiling
Right.
in a apron, sitting in front of like a Weber kettle
Yes.
barbecue, making a
Just
cheeseburger.
enjoying cooking.
Right. And then she got his attention by going, right, which is what he was doing to get everybody's attention in the kitchen through the whole story.
Yeah.
And everybody just kind of goes up. She goes, I'm hungry. Because I'm not, what do you want? She goes, what do you have? And Ray Fiennes goes, we have everything. And he did. He's got a full decked out anything you want. She goes, I want a cheeseburger. Just a bun, some meat, and cheese. Like a regular cheeseburger, right? And he went back there and he made it himself, and he got back into that connection. And because she brought him back into that emotional state of happiness where it all began, right?
Yeah.
Where he found his most love. He got off track in life and become an
Tried to be too much for too many people.
Yeah, exactly. She let him, or he let her leave, and everybody else literally got turned into s'mores.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Like they were coated in.
Right. Yeah, it is bonkers.
It's bonkers.
You got
The
one.
first time the guy gets shot, where he takes the fucking left turn, when he just gets killed,
Hey,
they
what-
all think it's part of the show. Right?
What was this thing again?
It's called the menu.
No. Really.
Oh, that's a sandwich. A Philly sandwich, maybe?
Thank you.
Sorry. I didn't know you wanted the details.
I want an actual
what-
answer. I
what
wasn't
is
asking to be
This
funny.
is a cock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's some
The fishy fish.
fishy fish.
Gimme.
And his mac and cheese is
Hey, listen,
delightful.
yeah, that was nice.
I'm not
Yeah, the
gonna.
mac and cheese is nice.
I'm not going to be brave enough to try the mac and cheese because I don't want to spend the rest of the day in the bathroom.
That's a good choice. We don't want you to be there either.
That breading school, man.
Light, crispy outside, delicate on the inside. Perfect.
Yeah, that's nice. It's got zazz, but it's not overpowering.
It's got some
That's nice.
flavor.
Yeah.
The breading's got a little
Yeah.
cornmeal and pepper
Yeah, texture and
flavor.
yeah.
It's not
That's
just
nice.
a bland
No,
deal.
it's got a little little pockets.
Yeah.
We'll
like
go back, and then when Kenny's like reached that pinnacle, and he's just, we'll have him make some catfish or something. And we'll
That's
get
Auntie
into it.
Benedetti, dude.
Absolutely.
When he's gone off his
When he's
rocker.
gone off his rocker and he's like
Benedetti.
running the world.
I'm not gonna buy it. No, too late.
Where's Bob at? On site.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's
Nowhere near
wonderful.
New Orleans, unfortunately.
We were just talking about Bob.
She's the best. Hello, love.
Sorry.
Do they still have a puppy bowl? We're hanging out.
Wow.
Kenny made us a smorgasbord for our Sunday get-together to chat and just have a Sunday chat.
Y'all do your Sunday get-together?
Hi, I'm Charles.
Oh, Charles.
Oh, geez.
I know your husband, but I don't know.
Yes, I am the other part of that.
Mrs.
You're
Captain.
wonderful in every way.
Every way. We were just talking about Bob, Captain Bob, and just how
without
wonderful he is. Well, he's the perfect person to have around during construction because he has all the great euphemisms associated with swear words, and he doesn't even have to swear. It's just
My
all these
husband has so many euphemisms.
classic.
And unfortunately, he's taught them to my 15-year-old.
Oh, good.
To Catholic school. So, I know.
Which is
I heard him talking about that last week when he was hanging out with me and Chris and Christina.
Thank you. I've never honestly seen.
yeah. I'm gonna try this thing.
I've never
Yeah.
seen a daughter with
I-
a healthier mouth.
I've never had whatever this is. It's good.
She's a terrible mouth. And I keep on reminding her not to. Keep on reminding her not to.
Everybody, this is Angie Benedetti, the other half of
Huge fan.
Bob Benedetti, Captain Bob.
Bob.
Who is
Off the screen.
they are a treasure.
No, camera's right there and over here. So
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, a lot of good words.
Filmed when I was
The
saying
whole
that.
time.
Absolutely. I need you to sign a waiver.
There's 9 people in Jakarta who watch our show.
You know that nowadays,
It's a
that
part of that.
Here.
And we love each and every
Every one of them.
Yes.
you'll never see this. You'll never see this.
unless Bob
You
knows
didn't say
him.
anything bad. You just
Yeah.
mentioned that your husband's a horrible human being.
No.
You're an amazing human being.
I know, but he's teaching. I'm just joking.
One of his many
Oh,
schools.
no, my husband is an amazing human.
Absolutely
I love him to
amazing
death. Don't get me wrong.
That's what we were just talking. And
It's
if you
just
listen to this,
he has perhaps allowed for an environment where my daughter has creative expressions.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
She's a good kid. Mm-hmm. She's a good kid. She also knows when to turn it off. So
That's also very good. Yeah.
High school? Lindbergh or?
Holy Names Academy.
I lived a half a block from there.
It's like Hogwarts.
Yes. I used to skateboard through the halls.
Oh.
That was one of those. Yeah.
I bet they've still got an
It was,
AED out on you.
Those
They're
halls
still
are
looking.
perfect.
Oh,
You walk
smooth
in,
and wood.
You
Oh.
walk in, and the school's 180 years old.
Wow.
It was founded even before the University of Washington.
Oh, wow.
By Order of Sisters, and still has been
Made it
the
through
school
all of
ever
it.
since. And so you walk in, and there's that overwhelming smell of Murphy's oil soap because
That's very
the
wood.
beautiful hardwoods have been
Yes.
there 180 years.
yeah, they beautifully grooved and.
Everything's maintained so beautifully.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been in since they added that whole back section.
By the back section, do you mean the?
Is it like a gym back
It's
there?
a
or-
huge athletic complex.
Okay,
so there's
I haven't seen
five stories,
any of
parking
that.
lot.
Yeah, I'm talking late 80s for
Story.
Yeah, because why would you be hanging out there?
There's maybe five.
an all-girls
really
Catholic
bad-
school. Why do you
It's
think?
very large. I'm sorry, I'm going to be the advertisement for the school.
That's
It has
fine.
a very large. It has a very large athletic complex.
Right on.
And underneath the large athletic complex are 5 floors of subterranean parking.
That's no lazy day. That's
Jeez,
a
I
big
didn't know
expense.
any of that.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, because there's no parking around.
there is not.
Not
Except
around.
on Capitol Hill, so there's no parking.
In the neighborhood, right? This is the neighborhood.
Okay.
Neighborhood.
Yeah, neighborhood. And, they're stated, they want to make future good senators.
Yeah.
That is their for that athletic complex, they have 19 sports for the girls.
Wow.
For the year. Yeah.
For them.
I didn't know there
Including
were
my
19
favorite, the
sports.
bowling team, the Holy Rollers.
Sweet. That is awesome.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not making that up.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
team building is a good exercise.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of camaraderie and such, there is a lot of value in it, right?
I was gonna say the only
And
thing.
also, there should be chess clubs, people. Chess.
There is a chess club.
Well, thank you.
What did your daughter do? What is her?
She's very into crew.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
And she also is on the
That's fast. That's going fast,
team that publishes their magazine.
Okay.
Oh,
whatever the.
Is crewed through Holy Names, or is that through
No, it's their holy names. There are
It is?
85 girls on the team.
5 kids?
Now, if they started a roller derby team, they could also be the Holy Rollers.
They could be. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, the crew team's got to be the Holy Rowers.
Nice.
No.
I'm here all night.
That, no, she has a,
Shameless
she
lady.
loves it, yeah. It's a, you know what, we're just grateful. We're just grateful.
It's a good thing to be.
Nice.
She likes it. Speaking of future women senators, last week the week before, she was paging in Olympia.
Oh, great. What a great thing.
With our Representative Steve Perkins.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yes.
So he took her around and
The paging system is very,
methodical.
it's very, you have to go to page school.
Oh, sure.
Because they're runners, right? They're kind of runners.
They do, they're the runners.
Yeah.
They're the runners.
They
That's
take
great.
paperwork from
And just, getting an idea of how the sausage is made in a way.
They really do.
Yeah.
They have to run up and down those stairs.
There's a lot of scuttlebutt involved still, That's just human.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of scuttlebutt. It was because it was Lunar New Year, so our Representative Senator Hasagawa was with some other Asian heritage legislators, and they had the kids put together red envelopes for all of the legislators.
That's great.
What? Oh, for Valentine's Day?
No, red envelopes
For
Lunar
New Year's.
Oh, New Year's.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What a fun thing.
So I didn't know this. Your radio show is here at the.
No, we do a once a month bro brunch thing.
Yeah.
Just getting together and bullshitting.
Which really
as
isn't
opposed to
a
having a
brunch.
formatted. They do a formatted version.
Movable
Thursdays at
feast.
MySpace.
Movable feast, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, out of I Am Renton.
That's
Bob is in there.
See, that's why you.
Yes.
He's been in there. Yep. I've brought him in.
That's why you keep me around.
So that's a Thursday, and then it's edited or just put together, ends and beginnings, and then
We'll
it's
edit
put
me
out
out.
Tuesday.
No.
No,
You're the best conversation we've had so far.
And
We've been
You're the
talking
Darth
about
Vader
nothing.
voice.
there's so much to talk about, though.
Well, we started off with talking about food because Kenny is kind of
He's a nice young
food-
man.
I was sent by my teenager to get wings for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, the wings are good.
And then we
Did you
started
get the
talking
sweet
about the menu of the movie.
The wings are the best
Yeah.
in town. This
really
is my
are.
favorite wing in town.
Really?
And I like
Oh,
the
yeah.
sweet heat a lot. I just
Even
want to bathe in it.
Burnett's, I heard, was the best.
People really like Burnett's wings, but they're
heard-
not giant pterodactyl wings, A.
Oh, right.
And B, they don't have the sweet heat, man. The sweet heat is good.
This is a wing.
Yeah.
That's not
That's a wang.
I don't know if that's an actual pterodactyl.
And that's got a little bit of,
We knew you had-
and they could do it with mammoths, right?
They have the
Yeah.
sweet meat, so I like this wing better than Burnett's. That's just my.
Right on.
Gotcha.
Right on.
And is that what you have?
So a question though, if I was looking for the best kettle chips in town, because that was the other thing that was still to get, what would I do? What would I do?
Jeez.
I mean, like fresh made kettle chips?
Well, I don't know. That depends.
Because, I mean, Tim's is always pretty good, but
Oh, for store bought?
yeah, for store bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know of anybody that makes their own chips in town.
I don't know any.
I am actively, doesn't the Berliner? Doesn't the Berliner?
Oh, yeah, they make chips. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
I am actively avoiding a grocery store on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame you.
Good call.
Why?
That'll be-
What are you talking about?
'cause, yeah.
I don't know. What am I doing?
Isn't that where we go to
Because
make
people-
friends? Or do we go to wear our flak
Pretty
jacket?
much because
I feel like people need to do.
No. I don't prefer that.
No, I don't. I go into this. This is improved. This Safeway's improved in the last couple of months, but only because they have a security guard at the front door now for most of the evening. But when it was unhinged for a while.
Yeah.
Unhinged. Like people just like walk in, like people walking out with shopping carts of food.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding.
just like stealing it.
Yeah.
Full shopping carts
It's a
just
dick
walking
move.
out.
It is.
Yeah, my roommates called that ghetto Safeway.
Yeah. There's a couple of them.
No.
I actually like the one up there on Sunset next to the grocery outlet.
And a lot of people call that one the ghetto. But
that one a
right,
lot.
because the people in there, the actual workers, I think they've developed.
That place, the last 3 times I've been in there.
I love that.
I love it too.
I love that Safeway. It's just the right size.
Right, it's the old school side.
It's the old school size.
Yeah.
It's just the right size. And I love, the grocery outlet.
I've said it once.
Grocery outlet's amazing. The only thing I don't like about that particular Safeway is it always smells like a dirty grease trap. Because they don't clean their grease trap in the deli.
Oh, I don't go to the deli much.
But you can smell the grease trap the entire store. When you walk in, it smells like a grease trap.
Yeah. Are we getting a
Yeah, why haven't we just
grocery
closed
store at the
doors to
landing?
prevent crime?
Is that
Yeah, there's
Heard of it in
Winco. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's going to be where the fries used to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard Winco.
60
American ingenuity, dude. He wants to be
or
close.
something like that.
Oh, they're going to be apartments too? Wow.
Yeah, like thousands of apartments. It's going to be a big complex, kind of like the complex that's in the middle of the landing there.
Renton has a weird relationship with grocery stores, or non-relationship with grocery stores.
You know why?
So many have closed.
Oh, right.
How is it that Darien has a Trader Joe's and a PCC sharing a parking lot?
Right.
Because the demographics of the lake here block off what corporate looks at as a capability of human beings. And so because of its
Yeah, we gotta walk them out.
proximity to big corporations don't want to go in there typically because there's not enough people to support it. Because they draw a line around it, a circle, and then they say this. That's what I heard from the
good,
mayor
dude.
anyway. That's,
I think it's probably because it's
Okay, again. So
Get Armando on the line.
Darien got a Trader Joe's and a PCC
I know,
in the same
it's-
parking lot.
yes. But that doesn't butt up right against the lake.
And we lost my favorite store in
I'm
town
on.
just recently, which was Top Hill. I mean, I spent my greatest number of grocery dollars on
That was a good.
what was the name of the place?
Top of the Hill up there.
I don't know what that
It
is.
exploded or something,
Oh yeah, that was awful.
didn't it? I don't know.
I thought it was an arson.
Big
Big
fire.
fire.
It's gone.
Yeah, that's awful.
Oh, they aren't going to
I mean,
reopen.
you can't
They
eat
are going
that.
to reopen and it's
What's that?
completely level.
Oh, is that the place over by the donut shop up on,
Yeah.
on
Yes.
Cemetery Road?
Yep.
Okay.
The place was amazing.
Winco. Not Winco. Winco?
No.
No, sorry, that's a grocery store. What was the Chuck's Donuts?
Chickens.
Oh
Chuck's,
yeah.
Chuck's has been there forever.
That
I was in
Hopkins.
elementary school.
Hoppins JoJo's
Yeah,
are good.
and my
Remember the JoJo's?
best friend's mom worked
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
They've been the same at the Hoppins since 1983. I swear to God.
Probably the same oil, too.
Wasn't that the hop in right here?
No, the Hoppins. Yeah, by Chuck's Donuts.
There's a
Oh,
Yeah, the Hopkins still there. Yeah,
yeah, they got JoJo's.
we got. Oh, that's right.
home one day with
Yeah.
two
Remember JoJo's?
packs of.
Yeah, we used to get
Chuck's
JoJo's there all the time.
Yeah,
The
Chuck's
state
Donuts.
Albertsons has really good
I go, what are we
JoJo's
gonna do with
too.
all these? There's 24 maple bars here. He goes, eat them. They're gonna just go bad. We might as well eat them. God, we ate so.
No,
Yeah.
and let me be clear.
Diabetic
The minute you
coma.
let people know that you have those 24, they evaporate.
Oh, they evaporate.
They evaporate.
We took care of them. I didn't think we could take care of a family of 5 or 6 that were there. I think. I don't think Georgia was there, but yeah, we ate a lot of donuts that day.
Yeah, people go in and they'll buy 5 to 6 dozen of the maple packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
You can always get somebody to eat a maple bar.
the Western Co is also a good donut spot too.
Yeah. I remember when that guy had a quadruple bypass and was back to work in like 6 days.
Really? Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
All right, I am
Nice to
going
have met you.
I think nice to have met you. Now, when Bob says things, I can go.
Oh,
I don't know if you
the same one.
Chris Swanson's roommate.
Yes, we have met.
Okay.
Yeah, at different top of the hill events, or I'm sorry, Red Hill events.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, different Red
I
Hill
said hello,
events.
please.
I will. Thank you. I'm gonna go and save the savage teenager and find myself some kettle chips. Maybe I'll keep it.
And
All
watch a
right.
little football in New Orleans. I didn't know that's where it was.
I love New Orleans. It's one of my favorite places in the entire
That's
universe.
nice.
Place that-
It might be my favorite U.S. city.
Jeez, that's great.
Yeah.
To visit, not to live there.
Correct.
Yes, to visit.
Now, this is my favorite place
Yeah,
to live in.
yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
where I am.
Yep.
Right?
This is a good hometown to be in.
Oh, it is.
Postal stop's 30 years on March 30th. 13.
Oh, fabulous.
So that's
Okay.
a pretty cool milestone for us.
Yeah.
But Renton has really become a place that I call home in a big way. Not just because I live downtown and I have a business down here, but because the people make a difference. And I hope it doesn't get overrun by money. You know what I mean?
I think
Because money starts to
There's a lot
ruin
of
things.
grounding. There's a lot of grounding here.
There is.
There's a lot of grounding. We've got a lot of vision for this too.
Yep. We do.
Not to mention the least, not to mention ours. We are the, I don't know if I say this and I can say it on air. I am actually the 4th generation of my family to live in the same neighborhood around.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
You guys, 4 generations on that
Yes,
hill.
my great grandfather's brother lived up there. And then my great granddad and her family. And I'm sorry, not great granddad, my granddad and her family. And then
Your mom.
Mom and dad didn't live on the hill. They lived out in the valley. And Red address, actually very close to where you were.
Okay. Fairwood area?
They were on Spring Lake.
Spring Lake, okay.
They were on Spring Lake.
We were just off of Shady.
So very close, very close. And then we were, but my dad's cousins are there.
Okay.
And then us. So,
What a wonderful thing.
it's the family.
Yep. You got roots.
I love the place. All right, talk later, everybody.
See ya.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Right on.
It's such a positive ray of light every time I see her.
Right?
Literally just an explosion of awesomeness.
Yeah.
Both those two. It's a
Yeah.
powerhouse.
They are laying a lot down.
I mean-
No.
Yeah.
And
Bob's a great guy.
amazing hearts. They used to call their daughter the little. Bob would say,
That's what we call our
I'm
daughter.
going to bring the little. Yeah.
Little. We just call her little.
Because she was little.
Yeah.
I don't think they call her that
But then
anymore.
they get tall.
That might be wrong. I'm double dipping. So, anybody last episode have a problem with, as you brought up some of those things,
George Costanza.
a visceral response? What's the George Costanza thing?
Double dipping.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. But there were some issues like with certain things you brought up with etiquette
Yeah.
that were like, oh, I didn't realize that would bother me.
Yeah.
Like I thought of myself as like a pretty loose
Just
guy.
loose and easy
Yeah,
going,
easy
yeah.
going. But no, I have some boundaries.
We all have that.
You brought up some emotions in me.
It just depends on how close they are.
Yeah.
Close to her.
Oh, yeah.
Yum.
As long as I don't feel it. Somebody can be right next to me.
No.
But
We
once
were-
I feel the droplets,
We
like the
were
elbows.
The spitters.
Yeah, I can't do
I
it.
can't do it either.
a few weeks ago when I was doing some improv online. We were doing like a party quirks, where people coming into the party have a quirk, and then the host of the party has to figure out what that quirk is. My quirk was I was a close talker, so I was like walking up. I was trying to get as close as possible. But the problem with that, doing it on VR, is that the avatars have like a personal bubble that doesn't allow you to get
Allow
too
you
close.
distance.
So I was like bouncing off of people as I was trying to get close. So I was like walking up and going like this.
So nobody was able to really fight.
And then when they didn't realize I was trying to be a close talker. I was walking up and taking off.
Even though you were this close.
I was getting close enough.
Yeah.
Is it
Me
breakfast
just spin
bread?
off the other
Out
direction.
of the image.
So they didn't get it because of
Okay.
that. And I was like, no, I was supposed to be a close talker, but I think because you had a personal bubble
that?
turned on, I wasn't able to get too close.
That's
What
the
was
just
the
a chicken
other
burrito.
annoyances
chicken or
that
pork?
that people were
Yeah.
I can't guarantee.
Well, that was just my party quirk in that game.
anger.
But
I don't want to be.
Oh, I thought you were with a group of people.
no, it was an improv game where it was called Party Quirks, and then the host of the game would invite people into the house, and they had
That's
talking
nice,
to the
though.
person and to figure out what their quirk was just by talking to them. And mine was I kept getting up trying to get up really close.
Got it.
But yeah,
What part of the game was virtual? Or what part? How many live humans were involved? Or was it just a game that you played by yourself?
no, it's not something I played by myself. I'm with like a group of I think 20 people.
Okay. And what were some of their other?
Oh no, they're totally different.
Did you find out?
There was one person
neat.
who was like
No, maybe that's
thought they were in
like
love with everybody in the room, so they kept like hitting on everybody and
Potato, or it was probably beef.
overly friendly.
Oh, you had some of that?
And then and then what was the other one?
I feel like it was that one.
One person was they thought they were like various
I might.
animals. So anytime
I just might.
the host would talk to them, they would make some random animal noise.
Well,
That looks like chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So at the end of the party, air quotes,
Tastes good.
the host has to figure out what each individual party quirk was. And if they got it right, they got the point. The points really don't mean anything. It's just an improv game. Yeah.
That's dense.
What other games do you play? What's your favorite?
Oh, of the improv stuff?
That might be too much.
Just in general, like I mean,
In general, okay.
I don't play any games, so I'm like, snob.
I like video games. I like card games, board games. Like Uno is a favorite. Cards Against Humanity is also a favorite.
You play chess?
I do not. Problem with chess is
I think that's.
I haven't played it enough to remember where everything goes and how it works. It's a very complex game, and
It is.
I don't really play a lot of
The
complex
sweet meat is
games. I like
really
games
good
that are
sauce.
simple to play and just to enjoy and not have to sit there and think about math as I'm playing.
Yeah, and it is a strategy game of multiple moves looking forward. Did you
Yeah.
guys play chess?
Well, not recently.
My buddy Jesus Batista, who's my daughter's soccer coach growing up, really great guy. And I've been over to his house a few times, and he plays a lot of chess. And he's a soccer coach. He was on the Mexican Olympic team back in 1968 or
Right on.
72. Or I don't remember what, but around there.
Is the chicken spicy at all?
Of like 16 or 15 years
I mean, compared to like KFC,
I haven't put my mouth on that piece. Do you want to try that?
I just want to know if it's spicy or not. Because if it's spicy, I don't want it.
So he's
It is
stopped
not.
that business, and then he moved into
It has flavor, but it's not hot.
And he
Well, I'm just, I'm a lightweight when it comes to spicy stuff, and I wouldn't.
Honest, I wouldn't
a middle
do
and an
that.
end.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a strategy.
I'll probably just
getting
skip it.
the middle taken care of.
I don't want to chance
And then
it.
he asked me to teach him how to play chess.
Yeah.
And so he taught me how to teach him how to play chess, which was great. So I have that skill now.
Nice.
Of explaining chess to somebody that doesn't know how to play chess.
Yeah. Because we all know how to play. It's just not knowing those strategies. I always think of it as like Princess Bride, when the man in black reaches the top of the cliff and he's sword fighting with Inigo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, you're using the whatever attack, and you're using the such and such defense,
Right,
and you're using the
Italian opening.
Yeah,
the English opening.
Yeah. I love that part.
Those words, I don't think they mean what you
Oh,
think
then
they mean.
doesn't he switch? No, that's inside. Doesn't he switch hands?
That's during that thing too.
That's it.
I know something you don't know.
Yeah.
I've been using my left hand and I'm right-handed.
Right.
It's like, well, I got something you don't know.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Such a brilliantly written piece of work.
Yeah, Martin Simmons.
There was a remake of it done during the pandemic. It was to raise money for a charity or something. And it was all done from a Zoom recording. So everybody who was playing a part in the movie was sitting in their living room or wherever, and recording. And I think it's on YouTube now. But yeah,
Was that done by like
celebrities, yeah. And they did it
Was
for
that with like Brad Pitt and
probably, yeah. It had,
Aniston? And,
Yeah, I think a lot of those big names were in it,
Yeah.
and like I know that the guy who directed the original one was in it as well. Like Rob Reiner, I think.
okay.
Rob Reiner's in it, and
I have a memory of that. Yeah.
yeah.
So good.
It's Carol Kane, right?
Yeah, what's funny is every time Chris and Christina leave the house to go do something, I say, have fun storming the castle, and Christina goes, he still hasn't seen that movie. He doesn't get that reference.
Needs to watch that movie.
Right?
We just watched it the other day.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Yeah.
People are lunatics about that.
Yeah.
That's a great movie, though.
Yeah. So in 8th grade, Mr. Monroe started reading that to each of his 3
That's
English
nice.
classes. But he would got to the point where he knew he wasn't going to finish it by the end of the year, so he started just taking big chunks of it out. And most of it was the italicized the stuff that Mortensen, right? The stuff that he put in there that was kind of background information that you didn't really need to know to keep the story together. Because he would talk about, I removed X out of the book, or out of the original book. It was such a brilliant idea because he said it was an old manuscript from years before, but he actually wrote it himself.
Sure.
But he said it was something that he found.
Isn't that meta? Isn't that what meta means?
I mean, that's like an early meta.
Because who's the Quixote when you're breaking the fourth wall or whatever?
Oh, you talking
You know what I
about
mean?
camera?
Yeah.
Or you just that you're saying that you recognize that
You're in
it's fiction,
it.
that I'm
You're
in
in it.
fiction.
Yeah.
Ryan,
The whole Deadpool
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, so he would say he's taking out whole sections because you don't need to know the background of Florin and the other country. We're just going to skip that part. So I mean, it's just total meta, Mike.
Yeah.
It's just great.
That's fun.
Great. Yeah. I don't know if he wrote anything else.
All right, what's the author thing?
Mortensen, I think.
Now I have to look
You were
it up.
telling me the other day that your love for writing kind of came from an early space of, because you write all these podcasts and you come up with the stories for the format and everything. I've read some of your, and I've been involved with some of your guys' stories.
William Goldman.
But you got your ideas from like more of a meditative journaling kind of a thing. You started writing
Early on.
early on.
Yeah.
And then what got you into actually writing stories as opposed to like personal experiences?
I don't know. I've wanted to create something, but have it be different media than just written word.
Okay.
So doing the Hot Rodders has been more of a want to produce this media and not having something like we did. The first thing we did was the holiday special, the Star Wars
Was that our
holiday
first
special.
one?
That was our first
Yes.
radio parodic, right?
Yeah.
So coming out of that, it was like such a good time, but I wanted to create a new world and something new for us to do, not just copying somebody else's stuff.
So you came up with the character.
The Hot Rodders of Ugly. And so always loved post-apocalyptic fiction and movies and all that stuff. So I started thinking, and then also, I don't know if you know the Venture Brothers cartoon. It makes fun of like a Johnny Quest kind of thing, the old Johnny Quest cartoon. Two doofus brothers with their mad scientist dad who doesn't really accomplish anything. But the two brothers are they're supposed to be Johnny Quest, but they're just too
dopes.
dumb. They're just too
dopes.
dopey to do anything real.
They have aspirations, but no.
I was like, how can I mix like Mad Max, and then I love old television, like 60s and 50s television shows, TV shows.
Yeah.
And one of the ones, just the idea of it is the Route 66.
Okay.
So just two guys hitting the open road, and every episode is some adventure. Right. They just drive into town, and
It's a little bit
the
like-
town is
and things
like
unfold.
and things unfold.
It's a little bit like
Justice to be
Supernatural.
rectified.
Yes.
It's a little bit like Supernatural, except for there isn't a lot of supernatural stuff happening in Hot
Yeah, I
Rod.
don't know Supernatural at all.
Oh, yeah,
It's- it's-
Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven.
No. Gazillion, it's a great model. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they
Renegade with the Lorenzo Lamas.
That's right. I totally forgot about Lorenzo Lamas.
stretchy jeans?
Yes.
He did. He
Yes.
did. Yeah, like Chuck Norris style.
Do you know this show?
I remember Renegade,
I
yeah.
don't remember Renegade like.
Yeah, it was like
Lorenzo Lamas riding around
mid
on a
to late
motorcycle.
80s,
No
and he's
Lorenzo
like,
Lamas.
he rode like a Harley
With
Davidson.
like a
He had
native
long
dude.
hair. I think even at one point he had like feathers in his hair too.
No, he had a homie that did.
That's what it was. Oh, that's right. It was he had a Native
Lack of
American
a better
partner
word is
Thing.
talking.
had a
Yeah.
feather in his hair. That's what it was.
So like
Precisely.
a Cowboys and Indians kind of like
Yeah,
a feel to
kinda.
it.
A little bit,
Oh man, it was
Lone
awful.
Ranger and Tonto.
kinda.
Kinda.
Can you say Tonto anymore?
I don't know.
But that was his name.
But now we kind of see it in a different way, right?
I get it.
Nah.
We're referencing it. We're curious. Right? I'm not using it as a term that I'm.
I mean,
No,
if Johnny
that was his
wear
character
a
name.
bird on his head,
But,
self-taught.
But I think the issue people had with it was the fact that there was a white actor playing the Native American character.
And who was the guy that played it was Armie Hammer, right?
I think it was.
Who has his own set of troubles.
Yeah.
He's in a movie coming out soon too.
Huh. I didn't think he was getting anywhere.
Robert Downey Jr. in Pineapple Express.
The full blackface.
Really?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
No, it's funny as hell though.
Oh my
No, that
I mean,
role
that
is different.
talking
That's
about
not
Tropic
what's happening.
Thunder.
No, but it's one of
It's
those
so
things
good.
that really can't be done.
It's
It was
so
one of those
good.
things. It was done in a way to make fun of people who thought that was okay.
It's just perfect.
So I'm watching. I came up with the idea. This kid last night. It's like, let's watch a movie. Ace Ventura.
Great.
All right.
Well, so put it on. Have to rent it. $3.99. No big deal.
Yeah.
We're watching it, and then it gets to the point where
well,
Sean
$3.99
Young
well worth it.
is a
Yeah.
transgender. The former Miami kicker that missed the ball.
Oh, yeah.
She became transgender and
To
took
escape,
over
yeah.
to escape.
Yeah.
And they made it was like this transgender running joke for the last like 15 minutes of the movie. I'm like,
Yeah, that made that
Didn't
movie.
even remember that
I
as
didn't
an
remember
issue.
that at all.
Right. That's the hard part, is that what we've been programmed over the years to accept in our age group.
Yeah.
We're getting bitch slapped by our kids. Like you can't say those things or
Yeah. Well,
reference
because
them.
they're not okay.
I was kind of in an argument with my daughter in Virginia one time where we were talking about gypsies. And she was offended that I was using the word gypsies. And I don't have any education as far as what that really meant.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the version of the N-word, basically,
Yeah.
for that group
For
of humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had
Romani.
We talked about last week. Somebody said Eskimo, and it's like, yeah, Eskimo is a dirty word for them.
off limits.
Yeah.
And
It's just not the correct word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
And the thing is
people
when you
teenage year by Columbus and
when you learn that it's offensive, you just go, oh shit, I'm sorry, and then just don't do it again.
Yeah, but and I really wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, okay, I see where they're
did
going.
you talk to her about it? Did it
I haven't yet
Okay.
because Mom came home right after the movie. I was
Yeah,
cringing on I
it was.
like, wait a minute.
The last time I saw it, I got uncomfortable watching that part too.
Up until then, I'm kind of laughing because it's Jim Carrey, and I'm used to. She's not finding as much fun in it as I am with the alrighty then, right?
The demographic.
But yeah, so I'm like kind of giggling my head off, and it wasn't as great as I remember.
The sequel, though, I think is much better movie. When Nature Calls, I think is a better movie.
And isn't she like Oscar nominated?
You know, and I found out in a recent interview with Jim Carrey, he was being interviewed for being in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and somebody asked him where the character of Ace came from. Is what was he pulling from to play that character? He goes, I was doing a cockatoo.
Was ass.
So the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he responds to things is all being a bird. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, why did I never make that connection? 'Cause
Now you can totally catch
now you can't unsee it. It's right in your face.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's got
The way he walks.
Alrighty then.
So there's the scene at the end
Not the
where he like
say already then. but-
pulls down.
No,
her-
but just like
her
the
skirt.
mannerisms, how they
he
walk, and
wants to
how they
prove that she's okay.
how they do their
She's standing there, legs crossed.
their phrasing and
Everybody's
the
like,
way they say things.
Yeah.
You know,
no junk, and you know,
it's like the.
And then
If I'm not back
Marina's
in
like,
5 minutes. Just wait longer. You know, the whole thing. You know.
and Ace walks over
in there.
and he goes, flips her around, and there's the junk coming up the
Oh,
backside.
right.
And I'm like,
Oh, no.
What was this on?
it's Ace Ventura.
Oh,
So I'm just like,
He tucked.
he tucked, right?
Pretty natural for transgender person in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Going from
yeah, it just was like, okay.
and making them out to be the bad guy and being all the homophobic jokes is probably what makes it really gross.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of edges now,
Yeah.
and that, for good reason.
Well-
I think there's a need for continued education and adaptation to the respect, because if you were to call me a
crawl down somebody's pants.
if you were to call me, I'm a white, there's white privilege. right privilege in my world. I'm a white American male at the top of the food chain. Right? And I'm not using that arrogantly. That's, I think, what I am. That's what we are. You called me a cracker, I'm not going to be worried unless it has intention to hurt me, like the way you say it, right? Intention is an important factor in how we present ourselves. So if somebody were to call me a cracker...
But that's a type of nuance.
That's also...
It's hard to share broadly.
It's what?
It's a nuance that is difficult to share broadly throughout a society.
Yeah.
Right? But how somebody... Because you can personally tell how somebody's directing language, intentions at you in the now.
Right.
But how you translate that feeling and knowledge for everyone.
Everyone
What's the
watching.
standard for that?
You know what I mean? I have
So
to make
somebody
an
listening,
admission.
so if you and I have a thing, we're having a problem with a word, and I've called you a cracker or whatever, and is it the people watching that have the problem, or is it you and I that...
I don't the problem thing is just the reaction to it. But I'm just saying it's difficult to say the nuance that is something besides the words, right? How we behave, how we're coming across, the chemicals we're exuding, all of that is part of the one-on-one communication, right? And so you get if somebody's kidding, if they're in your friends group, if they're busting your balls, if whatever it was, you know those nuance, right? But that's not always visible to those who don't.
The biggest difference between...
utilizing it in the general population.
Yes.
So if Charles and Todd were just onlookers, that could be a reason to not knowing my intention, not knowing your intention, just hearing the words themselves, and maybe not picking up on those things that you and I are throwing down.
I think the big difference between...
They think that it's bullying.
Right, so as far as respect is concerned, we're talking about outside of our current bubble, right? Because so you and I in a closed situation don't use words of offensive nature. I don't use those even with my closest friends, right?
Yeah.
I try not to do that because it's offensive, right? And why practice?
It's spitting acid, right?
Yeah.
Well, the big difference between cracker and other words that are considered similar is that we're not an oppressed group of people.
That's why I started off with saying at the top of the food chain. And I don't mean food chain like I'm the ex-predator.
I have to make it an admission when I'm a kid and I heard the word cracker against white people. I thought they were talking about like saltine cracker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and
it's the whip cracker. And that's what I learned later on.
Oh, is it really?
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is not me because I am not somebody that would do that.
Well, all things in context, sir.
I never knew the whole whip cracker thing. That's new to me.
With the bell.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So Brittany Armstrong was an employee of mine, and Virginia was really small. She was like 2 or 3, and she was running in the restaurant before we got open, right? Just morning before the doors open. And Virginia falls, and Brittany goes, "Cracker down!" And we all just started laughing because it was funny. And she's African American.
Because in context, that's funny.
Yes.
That's good.
It was
comedy.
really clean, good fun. And it wasn't intending to hurt anybody or present anything bad.
Yeah, it's punching
God bless
up a little
Brittany.
bit. Yeah,
We're going to have to send you to HR now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Anyway,
And comedy is supposed to get to some degree, a lot of elbow room, right? Because you're punching at power. You're not punching with power, right?
Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle. Chappelle's gone a little overboard these days on the transphobic stuff.
Yeah, he's riding it.
Yeah.
He's riding that edge, right? Like, hey, let's keep it in the conversation.
Right.
But let's not abuse it. So he's very clever and creative.
And also, let's remember, he's a comedian and not a policy writer.
Right. I get it.
Right.
He's not really writing things into law.
I get it.
Right. So
But he does have an influence.
he's got a huge platform.
Huge platform, and that can be, where you learn how the world
Still not the same thing. Right?
No, not the same thing at all. Well, I think the transition that, oh God, what's his name? He passed passed away, and he switched to kind of more of a political bent, and he says things like, I can't remember his name. He says things like, they're all, the people in power are part of a big club, and we're not in it.
And you ain't in it.
And we ain't in it.
Carlin.
Yeah, Carlin. Gosh. And he has so many things about it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Because he just started to develop a vision of humanity as like a lost art, a lost thing. It's just going in such a horrible direction that he was able to just point to those. And it's funny, even though it's tragic. It's tragic and painful to know that we're all being led by the nose by some
don't have as much skin in the game as they would have us believe, right? It's like, I listened to a thing on Glenn Washington's show, Snap Judgment, about these two guys who just took it upon themselves to start selling stuff to the Pentagon, basically. So it started out just like toilet paper and sundries, but then it got into ammo and blah, blah, blah. All this. So they went from like, a few $5,000 contracts within like 7 months into like $30 million contracts. Two dudes trying to pull this shit off and running bullets from like Bulgaria to fucking Iraq and all this, just doing all this hustling. But, so they go, they're the new kids on the block, right? And it's moving me
in the giant industrial
of weapons, international weapons things. So they go to like not even a seminar, like what do you call it, a convention, like an international arms dealer convention, and you can drive around in tanks.
We need to go.
And it's like the line of the land. It's like groups who have been at each other's throats for, at least on paper, for a long time, bloodily, right? But they're all like, look at all this, you know what I mean? Spending money on debt. All together, hanging out.
Keeping the machine running. Keeping the military industrial.
But then they got mad at the kids for being the upstarts and like not paying their way. So they kind of,
Did they get pushed out?
What an interesting, dangerous place to play in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Not my cup of tea.
I'll stick with you. I'll do it. Continental breakfast choices. In certain districts.
Do we do omelets in a toaster?
Those guys don't play, man.
Yeah.
They don't play.
No.
Because they're swimming in debt. Yeah. So what's a couple more?
Gosh, man.
You're expendable. You make one mistake and you're going to get on the wrong side of somebody.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do my job. No, that's not the job I wanted you to do.
No, that's not. It's too stressful for me.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Oh, we got serious there for a second, didn't we?
Yeah, that's all right, though.
But that's Carlin's thing, where it's a club.
Yeah.
Those guys on paper hate each other, right? They're lobbing bombs at villages and raids and all this kind of shit.
But then they can come together.
It's a chess game.
If we go in on this weapons combo, we can get a better deal and pocket the rest.
You want to supersize that?
Buy one, get one half off.
Yeah.
Right. And we sit and chuckle about that.
Yeah.
And because it's so absurd.
So it's
unimaginable. It's like imagining that new Willow chip from Google, or whoever made the Willow chip, there's this ultimate question you can ask, or a problem you can ask a computer to tell how fast it is.
Yeah.
That whole theory of it would take 18 billion years for the biggest supercomputer that exists
figure this out.
And it takes 10 minutes for this new chip to figure that out.
Is it like a quantum computer or something?
That's a quantum leap of
But that also means that the AI modeling we're doing now can get super accelerated. So when we're like, in 3 years, our AI will be smarter than the smartest human. Yeah. Now
which isn't very smart right now.
You know what I mean? If they can run it through the same kind of quantum crunching, right, that the AI requires to come up with all these pathways.
Yeah, in 5 years, we're all in pods hooked up to the machine.
Yeah, like Wall-E with giant fucking sips.
Or just the new Matrix. Or all the
Matrix,
powering the
but that's the thing
supercomputer.
with the machines, dude. All they just gotta gas us, dude. Machines can get rid of us in the afternoon. Because we gotta breathe.
I want a front row seat to that shit, though. I'm not worried about it. There's nothing I can do.
So you're like Buscemi and Armageddon.
No, I'm more like Slim Pickens on in Dr. Shivago.
Strange love.
Strange love.
Yeah.
So good.
What? You got a nuclear weapon between your thighs.
Yeah, I mean, but Buscemi, that's a great one.
The same one, yeah.
Right, same idea.
I love it when he's strapped into the duct tape in the ship, and he's like, "What, are we going? We're not going? I had a great seat out there. Come on."
Right. I still want to, if I'm going to die, I want to see all the shit. Right?
Taped to this.
Yeah. And maybe some miracle will happen, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it until it actually happens.
You be careful with that table because I don't want the computer to fall off.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's...
The idea is for AI modeling just to be able to tell us the best way to do surgeries, right? Or guide a robotic arm
to do it.
Perfect surgery, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. If there's it's seen through every possible path, right?
At the same time, that's the quantum craziness of it, right?
I guess that is kind of
qubits instead of
I don't know. I think that's open it up. I'm telling you, dude. If you want interdimensional meanies coming through, that's how that happens.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Like the mist.
Once I think the thing that's going to signal, like in Star Trek, it's when we got a warp drive or whatever. I think, and I believe the Chinese are kind of ahead of us on this, but using the interlockedness of electrons and twins.
Particles, quantum entanglement.
But you can do entangled messaging and stuff, right? And the Chinese did that from a certain distance, so instantaneous flips. So you can do
so faster than the speed of light, which is illegal.
It is instantaneous, because it's an underlying fabric of some nature or something.
Right.
Or there's a wormhole connecting them. And wormholes really are the thread that's stitching things together. All of this is there's one electron in all of existence, just bouncing from place to place.
Yeah.
One.
So
Never
fast.
seen two.
So
ever.
fast.
Yeah. Never ever.
Right. That's the crazy part, right? That's the nutty part is that it's...
Yeah, no.
I love talking about
it's so
this
good.
shit.
Yeah, no, I just a couple of days ago revisited the dual
double slit experiment.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's so dumb.
Dr. Quantum.
Yeah.
It is.
Because once you do that, there's no going back.
That's what got me into
that's the slippery slope. That's the gateway drug to just being like.
You show somebody the double slit experiment and they grab a hold of any part of what that is, as far as the observation of all of this snaps this into particles. This is only a particle because I'm.
Something is observing.
Otherwise, something's observing. Otherwise, it's a bunch of potential. It's just a potential of anything.
Yeah.
And until you observe it,
That's bonkers.
it's bonkers. Yeah. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it still make a noise? And the answer is no.
I thought
It doesn't have a mechanism for it to be recorded and to be sensed.
Well, without the knowing,
Because our
without the vibration,
eardrums that connect to the brain.
There's a documentary that came out in
connected to everything.
I want to say it came out in 2000, but it's called "What the Bleep Do We Know?" And it's about
that's where Dr. Quantum comes from. That double slit experiment is from that show.
And,
talked about.
And they were talking about how the Native Americans didn't know the ships were in the harbor until the shaman was able to see it, and then he told them, and then they were able to see it.
You have to speak up a little bit. I can't hear you.
Oh, what?
You're talking real.
I'm talking really quiet. Okay, I said that the shaman was able to see the ship after looking out, knowing that there was something out there because there was a disturbance in the water. But when he was able to see the ship, he then told the people in his village about it. Then they were able to see the ship.
Right, I've heard that story. Right,
Yeah.
if you've never seen something before, it doesn't manifest in.
You don't see it.
You can't conceive of it.
Right.
At times, like the blanket.
I don't get that. That's a hard one for me.
To me, that's almost like a type of amnesia, like a selective amnesia that the body can protect itself from trauma. Right? You know what I mean?
But that's not really a traumatic. Well, I guess it could be traumatic.
It's a paradigm shifting thing, right? Just like if we really met Cthulhu. Or some kind of giga being, something big and old and doesn't care, it could shatter because it's just kind of beyond our comprehension. So I kind of get that where you could kind of phase out or whatever,
right?
And just to compartmentalize to protect the psyche, right?
That's kind of what the ADHD crowd. That's kind of the theory behind it.
And a lot of
is that it's not a disease; it's a mechanism.
Yes.
To protect yourself because because you weren't getting your needs met as a child. So when you were a child, you needed someone to come pick you up when you cried. You needed someone to hear you, to be there. And if you were in an unsafe position, you tuned people out to protect yourself because you saw that happening. So you reflected that back at people that weren't giving you what you needed in your formative years, which developed. That's a stress response on the baby's part that then protects them from harm, right? So they just learn to tune things out and be distracted by other things because that thing isn't giving. The primary caregiver is not giving you what I need.
Except for ADHD is not a learned behavior. It's not.
Well, there's some theories.
No, it's not.
Okay.
End of discussion. It's not.
All right.
It's a type of brain. It's a genetic thing. It's not something It's not something you learn growing up. You can't unlearn being ADHD.
But I think that
because something is environmental doesn't make it learn necessarily. Right? Environmental factors are unconscious.
Except for it's not environmental. It's genetic.
that's not what I'm hearing.
That's what it is. That's what ADHD is. It's genetic. It's not something that it's not something that's influenced by outward things. It is something that is internal and will never change. It will always be there. You cannot undo that.
So if you have a child, then that child has a potential of having ADHD.
Exactly.
And the
yes.
wiring of the brain
will be different than a neurotypical person.
So
yeah.
then how does neuroplasticity play into that with regard to being able to learn something else?
You learn differently. You don't learn the same as a neurotypical person. You don't.
Right, but the neuroplasticity states that you can build new neural pathways to build up that muscle.
Right, but your brain works differently, so the learning, those things happen, but they're not going to happen the same way it does for neurotypical people. It's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, the brain is probably the mechanism that's the most fascinating thing in the world. Yeah. Because it's the interface to the matrix. Right? This is this interface here of what's there. And the fact that we only see 1/10 of 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, so our senses only see nothing really compared to what's actually there. We don't see gamma rays, we don't see X-rays, we don't see it. We have to build machines to perceive those and to be aware of that. What else is on that spectrum that we're not seeing in front of us?
What do we don't know?
Explain it to me.
We don't know what we don't know.
We don't.
Is there something beyond yoga pants?
That's the pinnacle right there.
What is the quantum physics of what the yoga pants are holding?
Joy.
The matrix
here on this plane.
Here. Just thinking.
What's the way to say it? What's preventing it from expanding more or going beyond or what it's able to do?
Water weight.
More water. Yeah. But
well, speaking of yoga pants, I had an amazing experience yesterday.
Did you now?
I need to hear this.
3D ultrasound for my grandson.
Oh, fantastic.
It was pretty cool. We never did it I don't even know if they had it when my kids were born. The 3D
I
model.
had one with Virginia.
Oh, did you?
17. Right?
Okay.
So, and it was amazing.
Maybe we just didn't
We
do
had a
it.
scribe. You had a
Just put a trace of paper and
he had a hammer and chisel and had a slab of granite that he was carving it out with.
So this facility that we went to is right in Tukwila. According to the guy, to the technician that was there doing it.
Reyes?
What's that?
Reyes Radiology?
No, it's a private bows or bow ties or something like that. But he said that was the most advanced machine in the state of Washington, the ultrasound machine, because it had some like ultra high def filter that they could throw on it and really get the image.
Right.
So it looks nothing like me.
So
which
it
is
doesn't
good.
look anything like the Michelin Man, right? Because they look kind of like the Michelin Man.
Well, I mean, you can see like the fat rolls on the arm and stuff, which is fascinating. The kid was tired and did not want to cooperate, so he's like, like, let me just try to get in. He's jiggling, and we're like, damn, dude. And the baby's like,
battling.
Yeah, it's like, get off.
Knock it off, man.
Really
I'm
cute.
trying to sleep.
Got his mom's little button nose. Okay. But the kid is going to, this guy thinks, and I take his word for it because he's the expert, that the kid's going to be really tall and just built. Like, he's got really broad shoulders. But he was measuring like the arm bones, the tibula, the spine. He's like, yeah, this kid's going to be big.
How about his schlong?
Well, we saw
Is she going to have to do a C-section because of how big he is?
We don't know. But it did kind of make her a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because she's like, wait a minute. And we're like, okay, don't keep saying how big he's going to be.
Right.
She's freaking out a little
There's a lot of work still to go.
Yeah.
I heard they fake it. I don't know that.
No, it just pops right out. They get stout. Nice. Yeah. Just a really cool thing. And the guy was great. Talking about all these different things. Yeah. It's all with the baby, so. Yeah.
Names or anything like that?
Yeah.
Absidy.
No. So her name is Daniela.
Your daughter.
My daughter-in-law. So they're going to name him Daniel after her. But the problem is the wife's name is Danelle. Call her Danny. Her name is Daniela. Call her Danny. And now they're going to have a Daniel. Going to call him Danny.
Danny the third.
Yeah. Middle name is my dad's name and my middle name, which is kind of cool.
Great.
So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, excited. And she'll probably be a week early. Original due date was 4/20. Now it's going to probably be.
What are you, 12?
No, 13, man. 13. I'm not 12. I'm a teenager.
Grandparents' faces over the years, the whistle stop.
Yeah, I know, it's the best.
It's the best. So generationally, you got 1995, there were people coming in that had kids that are now having kids, that I get to see that generational gap and that joy that comes from, and other grandparents that come in there and everything.
Yeah.
And they are just a different human being than the parents, because the parents are all like, fuck, what do I do? And the grandparents are like, just sit back and watch that thing grow. Yeah, just put water on it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Don't talk to it.
Give it sunlight and water, you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't give it any bad impressions. Make sure it doesn't know the word gypsy. Midget.
Yeah. Right?
Gypsy midget. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Charles.
Thanks, man.
That's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
First grandchild?
Yeah.
Now, are you going to be Grandpa Chuck? Or are you going to be Papa? Or what are
So
you?
my dad was Papa to my son, so I'm going to be Pop or Papa, I think. Is
What a wonderful thing.
So, yeah.
Or both?
Yeah.
Papa. You'll
Pop,
answer
Pop.
that.
That's nice.
Pop.
Just invite me to the party so I can have some cake, damn it.
I'm late for cake.
Grandpa. How old are you?
53? Todd, what are we, 50?
I'll be 54 in September.
Yeah,
So
right after him.
Make me September.
Mike's 65. It just,
You're 54 too?
I'm 54 right now.
Okay. And I'm 50.
yeah, I got to calculate it sometimes, right?
56. I think I'm 56.
Are you AARP? Did you sign up? Yeah.
I did for a year, but I didn't use it, so I let it lapse.
Yeah, I keep getting
I did too.
They come in the mail.
joined. Yeah.
I think you're supposed to. I think.
So what are you 69?
I don't like to do that.
Yes, you do.
You don't like
No.
the year you born? Why? Why is that a problem?
Why would I put my nose in that bungholio?
I don't understand that it being a bad thing.
69? I'm 68.
Okay, I'm just saying
But 69, I
the
don't
year.
like to do 69.
Oh, I get what you mean. I was like, why are we talking? Okay, 16.
Oh, no, my brother was 67.
Because my cousin Marianne, she's 69. This was the year she was born. And then me and Charles are
Just
71.
seeing,
And I don't know.
50 is
I think he's 60 or 70.
Yeah.
Because remember 50-year-olds when we were kids? They were stodgy as fuck.
Yeah.
The funny thing to me is,
I didn't realize that they were probably just like us.
Yeah.
well, you look at some of the memes now, and they have like Red Fox was 47 when he was on Sanford and Son. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I gotta admit, he was grandpa.
Yeah, right.
You big dummy.
Yeah, exactly. The big one. Oh,
Oh, there's a big one. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah, he was road put away wet though, man.
He smoked a lot.
He was a character.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, you could hear it in his voice.
I'm younger and younger every day. I've got more agility and more physicality in my life than I've ever had. Not ever. I mean, I was in sports and stuff as a kid, but you really find that when you get older, you can just slow down, and that makes things get rigid. So I just started walking, and I started doing squats.
Nice. Squats are one of nature's perfect exercises.
They're the best. And so when you get down, and I'm trying to get to that sumo squat where I can stay there for 10 minutes and
Like
get my
tabletop?
hips really open.
What is sumo tabletop? How flat are you with that?
Well, just flat-footed, right, and being able to like
No, that's legit, bro.
sit
Yeah.
up down,
Yeah.
right? For a while, I couldn't do one. I found that I was getting old, or the machine was slowing down when I was playing golf. I went to go squat to go look at the putt, and I'm like, oh, look.
How do I get back up?
Right. Yeah, I had to like, push to get up.
Yeah.
And now I focus every morning on just squats and just
working
opening
the
all my
hip flexor
hips.
and shit, yeah.
And it's been the best. As far I ran today. I ran to my car to go get the stuff for this. That's 3 blocks.
Wait, where'd you
And I'm
run
like,
to?
what am I running? I can run.
Because you can, yeah.
I know, right? They say that when you get in your 50s, there's like 1% of people in their 50s can sprint.
Oh, man.
When was the last time you sprinted?
Well, I mean, how far are we talking?
From here to the couch?
From the refrigerator to the couch.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm referring
To try to get your
Show's back on.
Yeah.
remember pushing.
I mean, my refrigerator, my couch are within my room, so that's not very far to sprint. That's like 3 or 4 steps.
Well, sprint it next time. Give it a shot.
I'll probably do it in 2 steps then.
The worst was getting the favorite spot
Yeah,
where
it's
the
good
TV
though.
in front of the
You can
TV, but then you need a snack
this
or you
and
need
walk and
just
stuff.
something, a
That's
glass of
what's
water,
I went
and you
from
got to get up and then you're like looking at your spot. And you're like, dibs on my spot.
August
Doesn't
of
work.
23.
No way. And now they know.
Now they know.
They know you just handed them the keys to
I
the
was
kingdom.
physically
You're supposed to just get up nonchalantly, hope they don't really pay
Hey, Mom.
attention.
Hey, Mom.
beat up.
They should have gave us.
Well, I mean,
Some work and I got there.
going through those treatments
Like a
can
load
take it out of you. So
It did. It gave me a lot of side effects, rheumatoid arthritis, dry eye, dry mouth,
yeah,
They just usually pee right there on it.
and just a general overall unhealthy way of life. Just I was sick. You know?
I know my mom when
Cancer.
she had
Cancer was terrible. But
yeah, my mom had cancer, and when the second time she got it, I think they call it metastasized, where it just went everywhere.
that's what it's called. Yep.
And
They try to keep it localized and get it before
yeah,
it goes everywhere.
and they say if it gets into the bone, you're that's close to the end. So
Yeah, I think so. I'm a positive thinker.
my mom was for the most part.
I
Yeah,
look at things with when someone tells me I can't, I go to another person because I just haven't found the right person that's found the answer. Because when you think you can't or you think you can, you're correct, and so the biomechanism of your body listens to that.
you're manifesting it. Yeah.
You can make yourself sick. You can also make yourself younger. You can make yourself more vibrant. You have to just say it into the universe, I think, and it becomes. At least that worked for me. Everybody said I was a miracle when I got out of the hospital and I walked out of the hospital on my own 2 feet. I had people coming to see me to say goodbye.
Wow.
Yeah, people sitting right next to me in my. I remember a bunch of people over there.
How long ago was this trip?
August 23.
Just 2.5,
Jeez.
roughly.
Yeah. I had a pleural effusion, which is water on the lung. It took 7.5 liters of water, right? right?
Out of your lungs.
Out of my lungs. That's what, 2, 4,
That's a
6.
lot.
That's 3 2-liter bottles of Coke out of my lungs. So I had a giant hose sticking in my lung. Tumors all over the lung. I was done.
Jeez.
They went and scraped all those tumors off, vacuumed them up, put my pleura, which is the lining of the lung, back. Scraped up the lung, and then put the pleura back once it.
They put in some liquid nail.
They did. They used some caulking, liquid nails. That's what they did.
Oh man!
And now I have a chunk of my lung that's kind of like scarred at the bottom of it, so I have a little
Does it
bit of
affect your breathing?
It does sometimes. Yeah.
You should have sold that fluid to Charlie Sheen for that's crocodile blood or some shit.
Oh, he would have drank it.
Yeah.
Tiger blood.
Yeah, my dad had a lung cancer. Had about half of one of his lungs removed. 96, lifelong smoker. Came
That
out
was
of
a
it.
damaged piece of lung that was done.
Yeah.
Wasn't even working.
Yep.
So what? Get it out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recovered, but still had respiratory because he was older than he's older than about your age at the time.
56.
Late 50s, early, because he died at 64, I think. So
Your dad died in 64?
no, died at 64.
Oh, 64
In
years
2002
old.
or 3.
Yeah, like
so
going to the year.
yeah, he would have been mid 50s, I think, when he had that happen.
And so he lived another 3 or 4 years?
No, about 10 more years.
10 more years?
7 more years.
Okay, so if he was 54, 55.
64.
65.
So 70, 96 is when he had, because they were going to buy that triplex from George, the big house.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad were going to buy that. They were about ready to put an offer, and then he had this diagnosis for cancer, and they said, "Yeah, can't buy anything new now." So they wanted it as a rental property.
Yeah, but once you get into that state, you're like, I got to make.
Yeah, there's a lot more decisions to be made. So.
Did I ever tell you the story about my oncologist, going into my oncologist? So I was on something called Mectovy and Bractovy, which was a chemo pill. And I took that for 2 months post. That's what got me out of the hospital, right? That's what dissipated all of that was the combination that worked for me, right? It doesn't work for everybody, because everybody's different. So I had an opportunity to do another therapy where my Dr. Hall from Cancer Care Alliance, Fred Hutch, he said, we're going to take you off of that medication. We're going to grow some more tumors back. We're going to surgery, go in, take a tumor out. We're going to put it in a bath of stuff, and we're going to grow some serum and do all that sort of thing.
What's most effective against it?
Yeah, and then put it back in you, let your own immune system do your own thing, which was logical to me. So I signed up for that study, but because my blood type wasn't the right, or my blood had bad markers, it wouldn't work. They found it wouldn't work for my blood type. But what I keyed into is when he said we're gonna take you off the medication, grow the tumors back because they'll come back really quickly if you go off that, and then we'll put you back on after the surgery on the medication and have it go back down, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was feeling really good. So after my first scan that was clear, that I got 2 months after my, October of 2023, I stopped taking the Mectovy and the Bractovy without telling him.
Oh man, they love that.
Yeah.
Doctors love that.
So I went every 3 months. I went in for a scan. So that's 9 months go by, not taking it. First scan clear, second scan clear, third scan clear, and I sat down with him for each of those. And at the third one, I go, I stopped taking the Mectovy and Bractovy. He goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, I took it. That was 3 scans ago. I stopped it.
So like 6 months, and what time?
It was 9 months after I had not taken the medication. And he goes, what have you been doing? I I go grounding. I sleep with some wires that are hooked up to my toes and my feet and my hands, and I meditate with those. And he goes, "Well, keep doing that."
Yeah. Whatever it is working.
Yeah, but he was astounded because he has patients that they grow back and it's lights out if you don't take continuous medication. But I was so sick and tired of getting side effects from medications. Diabetes,
Yes, it gave you
rheumatoid.
that.
It killed my pancreas, so I got to take enzymes to eat. Every time I've got to stick myself with a needle every day, many times a day. I've got to, take. It's my pancreas is dead, and so you can't grow back something that's functionally not dead. But you can repair things, I think, mentally with that positive thinking and that positive thought. And that's all I used was the belief system and the repetition of saying things over and over again to myself on the daily to my face in the mirror. That I am healthy, I am young, and I am free of cancer. I am healthy, I am young, I am free of cancer.
Manifest that shit.
Yeah, kept saying that stuff. And anyway, the doctor was completely astounded.
Wow. Yeah. Good on you, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? So you can do it.
It can be done.
Believe in yourself. It can be done. Yeah.
And I was thinking that would probably cause you to have to do more editing, though. So you could probably utilize that video.
That's going in
sounds like
2 hours
like
editing and
picture in a picture, maybe.
No, is it recording sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does a sound match. Carrey does a sound match.
Okay.
Multiple picture view.
But you would just take the best sound quality and use that.
Well, it would be that sound.
Right. And just not use the sound.
Yeah, but it would pair them up.
Sync it up.
By
It would sync up the video with the audio.
Very cool. Just automatically, it just syncs it.
Well, you got to run it through the multi-camera
processor.
Okay.
And then you get a final product of them both being on the same line.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you just pick which.
And
one
then I
you
can
wanna go back
pick and
forth.
choose, but then that's the 2 hours sitting there picking and choosing.
Right.
But usually what I would do is just like click one, let it run for a little while, click the next. One.
Yeah. Unless you were taking notes, maybe, and you're like,
Yeah.
that would be the time in which you would watch and go, this is when I'm going to go into that and do that and switch. Not worth it. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Having the two. You need someone on the fly, like myself, maybe
Doing it while
on
it's
the
there.
fly,
Yeah.
on OBS, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll practice.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, lunch wrapping up.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
That was exactly what I needed.
Anybody want to grab a to-go box?
I'm good. I'm good. I usually just throw away my to-go stuff.
Maybe Todd.
What else do you guys see though? Are you working with Scott?
I'm still working with
You're still
Scott.
with Scott? Okay.
Yeah. So I see that guy and Ted most days, and then I see Logan a few days with him. Yeah. Everybody's good. He's here in a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. As they say, as the kids say.
Somehow he's kicking his
He
ass.
makes it happen. He makes it happen. He's good.
Yeah, he's the most energetic, go get him, do it right now kind of guy I've ever met.
And
Like
keeping a
Luke's
bunch of
running.
people like lined, keeping a bunch of different irons in the fire. That's pretty cool.
He's very, very, very organized.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
a success.
And it's, there's a lot going on. Painting's not easy. There's a lot of people involved all of the time. Building managers and project supervisors and
General contractors.
Bidding people that go out and bid.
Yes,
He was telling me the other day that he lost his main bid guy, the guy that goes out and bids
one of
jobs.
them. One out of two,
Yeah. Oh, two. Okay. And it's kind of a big hit because you spend so much money training somebody and getting them,
Right on.
up to speed, and then they go find another thing.
Yeah.
It's a drag.
Been there. Yeah.
And I guess that guy's going on to do kind of an online consulting thing that his friend's been doing. And did he tell you about the thing he signed up for the Seahawks for Lumen Field? He's going to have his logo and stuff put all over the stadium. right, for element painting.
Yeah,
but that was sold. That was sold to him by a group of people to go around the stadiums and sell people on advertising in stadiums.
Sure.
And so that's exactly what this guy that worked for you guys is going to do in a different element, more so to companies where you get charged like $1,500 a month for social media SEO, building your Google page and all that sort of thing. And so you just have someone monitoring that. And I guess they're doing just a shitty job, but they're getting people to sign up every day. So they're making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
Up and down?
Kind of, yeah. So it's kind of a scammy kind of a deal. But
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know how effective that type of ad. If you're, they put the advertising when you're by the urinal or something, you're like, you know what, I'm going to use them for my next $250,000 commercial page.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in context.
Because he doesn't. They're not doing residential paid jobs. It's all commercial. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's side jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
And the bigger the better, right?
Right.
These big like Lumen Field and stuff like that. That's huge. I did mass work.
Well, and it wasn't just painting.
All sorts of
You did
stuff.
sign change outs.
Yeah, just saying we can do it. Yeah, I
One
love the
job
signage guy.
as you did better and better and fulfilled all those jobs as you went, you got more jobs, which was great.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate to grab that. That was a good account.
Yeah, I think so. But also kind of a pain because they had a lot of middle management in it who were dictating things they really didn't know about, like what type of paint and stuff like that for the substrate that was incorrect. They demanded it, right? Even though they were incorrect. So.
Wasn't there a change of the guard too at some point?
For of the companies themselves.
Companies themselves.
Yeah, like one of those middle management companies got fired. So not just the personnel of that company, but that company got
right. So they brought in a whole new thing, and so now you got a contract with Scott and other Element, and now you got to redo all that relationship building. Yeah, that's big business, man.
That's huge.
Large amounts of services and dollars changing hands.
So I hate going after those big commercial jobs, man. Especially government stuff.
Yeah. They look good on paper because
they look great on paper. Yeah.
There's so many hurdles.
So many flaming hoops.
And we just have a whole department to handle those weird little problems that crop up. Some type of fire putter outer person who can navigate all that other shit. Just ain't worth it, man.
Yeah.
It takes so much time and effort to.
Call Steve. Steve will take care of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's good to have a Steve.
Yeah. It's the $6 million man, basically.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, in your business, do you guys just deal with government contracts?
No, a little bit, but no, we do mostly just commercial stuff. We get involved with government stuff and just dead in the water. We got involved with one for, it's actually pretty cool. It's probably breaking all kinds of non-disclosure stuff, but Western Air Defense, which is but basically they handle all of the air security for the western United States, from the Mississippi River to the Pacific Ocean, top of Alaska to the Mexico border.
Okay. And that's
anything in the air, they're monitoring. And we redid their entire surveillance system throughout the whole facility, which isn't actually that big, but a lot of demands, a lot of bullshit in the contract that you're like, oh yeah, no problem, But then
you get to
the fine tuning of that.
You said all right, but that was for that.
Because you take that system offline and. Because that's a delicate procedure of making sure you got
certain ones down at one time.
One's working and one's not. Systems.
And then it's, the walkthrough, the main people aren't there for the walkthrough to point out certain things. And then we go out, after we win the job, go out for a second walkthrough, and they're like, oh yeah, well, didn't we show you this? Like, no, that wasn't on the walkthrough. Well, you should have anticipated that. Like, oh, really?
How would I have anticipated?
How would I have anticipated?
Explain that to me.
What's that even mean?
Yeah.
Given the Socrates way of like the Socratic method of communication, which kind of dictates just ask
Socrates.
to get to the answer that he so
love
blatantly
Socrates.
understands,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm learning that is kind of a cool superhuman tool is the Socratic method of communication. Don't give anybody information, but ask a lot of questions so that they can get to their own conclusion on their own.
Right.
So that's a methodology that I'm still practicing. And you do IT stuff, so you're running wires.
The company does.
Right. You're the management part of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your company does.
Yeah, we started out doing, well, this version of the company started out as doing phone systems, via phone systems, small, medium-sized businesses. I came aboard, my background's mostly voice and data cabling, so more of the construction side of things, right, the infrastructure. So I kind of came in, and pretty soon phone systems were doing this, because nobody, it's all VoIP now, and cell phones and all that stuff. Where the voice and data cabling was still up here, and then we started getting into VoIP surveillance. Because before, surveillance cameras were run off of coax and 18.2, so it had a separate limited power
supply, right.
and we weren't allowed to do that as a 09 telecom company. But now they're all run over Cat5,
which is power,
right?
Yeah.
PoE, and we can do that. So then we started going, we can do cameras more and more, and now cameras is probably 75% of our business. Yeah. So it's kind of, and again, phones is maybe 2%. I mean, it's like not so bad.
Everybody's on VoIP or cell phones now, right?
There's still a lot of people out there that have phone systems, but we're not selling any new phone systems.
Right.
We do a lot of maintenance stuff. Washington State Fair in Puyallup, Western Washington State, one of our big customers.
You mean the Puyallup Fair?
The Puyallup Fair.
Yeah, don't
the
ever
grounds
say that
there.
again. Don't ever say Western Washington.
Whatever.
Not in front of me. That's where I draw the line.
Total legacy system. If you go into these old buildings, you see those wall fields of phone cable. They still have that. They have a System 75 out there.
With those
Why tear
little
it out?
tiny wires.
With the little wires and the cross connects and doing all that. So we send Rick, who's been around as long as I have in this industry, maybe a little bit longer. We send him out there on T&M stuff. The guy will rack up like $5K in a week and a half worth of business just out there. Yeah, we need to move these phones over here and that over here, and he's tracing it through building to building
there
to
isn't
building.
anybody else that knows how to
Nobody else
do
knows.
it. Yeah.
There was a guy, Ed Boyle, who he actually used to work for me back in the late 90s. He was the guy that sort of took over the Puyallup Fair, and he was the guy in the know. So when the Puyallup Fair, he was retiring, and they were looking for somebody new, and we come out and we're doing like an interview, and it's like, a guy named Ed Boyle. I'm like, Ed? Shit, I know that guy.
Ed, yeah.
And then sure enough, he showed up, and it was, hugs and
Any
high
idea when
fives.
those fairgrounds were made?
I don't. They've been around a long time.
For a long time. Yeah, they used to put people there in the gym.
That's right. wasn't it?
But I was hanging out with my buddy Eric.
The Puyallup Fair's been around?
Huh?
Do you know how long the Puyallup Fair's been around?
Pitt Street. So he runs electrical. He's like out there. So that's late 50s.
I want to say sometime in the 70s, but I don't
Stuff
really
just
know.
like goes
My earliest memory of the Puyallup Fair was like 5 or 6.
Yes.
Weird.
So,
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
me too.
weird.
A long time ago.
Just, because over the years somebody said, well, it'd be easier if I just run it over
Yeah, I
the
just gotta do
top.
that.
I thought maybe you just knew.
I just pull it off.
I mean, that's the kind of
And
thing
nobody's
I would know,
like
but I
kept
don't.
good maps or nothing. So, it's just nuts. But yeah, I think that because, credit cards, all that stuff's going over Wi-Fi now, that at some point the fair is going to just build a better Wi-Fi infrastructure and call it good. So,
But at some point, I mean, that's a lot of data.
yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah. But you can run,
So what you said, the 70s?
I would say the 70s, I think.
All right, Puyallup Fairgrounds. Got a guess of the date?
1939.
Yeah, mid-30s.
1900.
Wow.
Whoa.
Right, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Or Buffalo Bill was,
1900.
Yeah, maybe.
Been around 125 years?
wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's the roller coaster.
The same hot dogs in there on that heater.
Oh, I see an elephant here. Is that Fisher scones?
To the double. You're going to be eternal till what have I done to deserve this?
I don't know how many times I've said this in the last year, but like fish and scones, elephant ears,
What did it come back as a
or like in the cow chip cookies with like the three big things for me. I know with my mom it was
Oh my god!
elephant
Yeah, we could do a radio
scones.
parody on that.
But I was really into the cow chip.
Bunch of dudes come
The
back.
chip was like a cookie that was this big and that thick. I don't know if I can eat that now.
I have a rule that I follow. I don't get scones at that fairground.
I was thinking
anywhere
for the,
else besides underneath the
Life
stadium.
and Times of Garden.
That's my historical reference to standing in line at that little triangle under the grandstands,
Right.
where they have
So, like, they bathe the forest and
once
he's
or
like-
twice in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's
Like
like
a
a
lumber
spot on there, but you can get scones
Like an
in different
alien.
locations.
I mean, honestly, the only place I'll ever get Fisher scones is
Like
at
the
a
initial-
street fair or the
meeting.
Puyallup fair. Yeah. I mean, I bought them at the grocery store once, and they just didn't turn out the way they were supposed to because I'm just that terrible at cooking.
But how do they become like
being in
delicious?
New York or Chicago and having their
How does he even know how they
Or like,
I mean-
like going up on Capitol Hill and getting a Dick's cheeseburger. It's a
I know. Just a
it has memories attached to that
One
one.
of them
Should be,
actually,
should be a line.
a sandwich tastes
That
better
should be a
when
line
somebody
too
else makes it for
far.
one of them actually scraped
You get it from a
themselves
specific
and
spot,
bled
yeah.
blood, and it tastes like blueberries. Grape jelly.
I have a copy of that secret recipes book that tells you how to make all the different like brand name
God.
burgers and sandwiches and whatnot.
Yeah.
It even tell you how to make Twinkies too if you wanted. But
We
one
could
thing I
definitely
actually
do-
get those chemicals. Regular humans can get the chemicals that Twinkies are made out of.
isn't that, I mean, are you talking like bread and whipped cream? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just joking because it's got like that shelf life of eternity.
Yeah, that's that was one of those. That's one of those MythBusters episodes that I remember, and that was busted.
Oh, it was debunked.
I haven't had a Twinkie.
They bought a Twinkie off of eBay that was 30 years old, and it was rock hard.
Because if I'm going to go get a
it was
treat like that,
petrified.
it's not going to be.
Yeah, I can see that.
Couldn't eat it.
If you were to keep it in a humidor,
I'd rather get like a
where the
blueberry
moisture
muffin or something.
wasn't evaporating.
Oh, yeah.
They took care of it. I bet it would have
See,
lasted.
that could be said for anything.
John
not
was
just
talking about maple bars earlier.
The biodegradable nature
Yeah, I can abuse that every once in a while.
products.
We're like,
Except for Twinkies are made of cake.
lighters. You're like,
but that they're also treated with chemicals.
No, they're not.
I could do like
it's like 3 to 1. It's like 3 to 1.
No, they don't.
No?
That's been busted.
that's kind of the.
No-
It's like
no
6
chemicals.
Krispy Kremes to
Not any more than you
thick
would
maple
cake.
bar.
Yeah. Really good.
It's cake. Is what it is.
Because if I took them and mushed
Cake
them all
dough or
together,
whatever you want to call it.
Why do they last so long?
Is they're probably in a sealed bag.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay, but if I put a piece of asparagus in a sealed bag, it's going to mold and rot. So it's going to turn to shit.
But that's because it's a vegetable and not cake.
Okay. I don't know.
preservatives, man.
Preservatives, yes.
There are no more preservatives in a Twinkie than there is like a vanilla cake.
I got you.
Is all I'm saying.
Oh, the commercials have started.
Charles, did you
Martha Stewart.
Did you grow up around here? You grew up oh yeah,
The Holy Names, like half a block from Holy Names.
right.
Yeah.
Is that a K through 12?
No, it's only high school.
Oh,
All girls Catholic high school. Yeah. I did my driver's ed there. Me and 12 girls. for driver's ed.
That's cool. That's awesome. How did that work out?
Because I was going to O'Day at the time, but Holy Names is right next to the house. Right. So it just made sense. Yeah. Mom signed me up for that one. Went over there. I was like, I'm the only dude here.
That's the way I felt last night at Hampton.
Yeah. When you didn't
what was your
invite
first
everybody.
car?
My first car?
Yeah.
Roadrunner.
No.
Mom bought off of Derry, who had the Texaco station up on 15th. She bought a 76 or 77 Oldsmobile Omega, which was like the Olds Nova. It's the Nova of the Oldsmobile. She bought that for my brother.
This is the first year they've made it since like 1970.
My brother had
Whenever the last one they made one.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was cool. It was a 350 Olds motor.
You like it?
Played
It
around
looks
with that,
weird
rebuilt
for.
it. So,
I mean, I'm trying to find just photos of it. I don't want
and
to
then
see a video.
Does it look like a Cybertruck?
No, thankfully no.
I think I
You
was
know what it
17.
looks like? It looks like, what is those
My brother had the
SUV half pickup? You know what I'm talking about?
And it quit running, and I don't remember why. So he was driving the Omega all the time.
Pickup, I got
So I
You know
was
what I'm talking about? It looks like that,
just
but
went out and bought my own.
lower to the ground.
So I had my own thing.
Oldsmobile Omega.
The Omega, dog. It had the
Like a Camaro with a
double grill came up, and the grill went into the hood like that.
I got you.
Yeah. It was a fun little car.
I guess that's a really good
It
utility
had gotten
idea.
into an accident at one
But
point.
the
and it bent
photo I saw,
frame
I
back
wish I could find that photo.
But if you looked at it from
The
the
photo
rear,
I
you could
saw,
tell that
it
the
looked
rear
like
wheels were
the
slightly-
brake lights were on the
like
front of the
one
car,
was a little forward
and
of the
the headlights were on the back of the car. It was
It
weird.
just looked goofy from the back. You're like,
Wait a minute.
No, I think that would be
on there.
a cool thing. My buddy Joel
Yeah,
from
big
high school
steel
had
frame.
one.
Yeah.
He and his dad refurbished it, and it was red, candy
Yeah,
apple
I
red,
remember going to the
and it was just gorgeous.
frame shop. Like,
Joel. You're listening, Joel.
Seattle
doing?
Seattle Frame or something up on the hill.
Here's-
Was that near the Safeway?
See how I
I think it was
think
over
that's
by
the back
Mass.
of the
I was
truck?
like 10th and Maddie or something.
Yes. I know exactly where you're talking. Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
Because my dad's.
Because I remember just kind of.
I mean, am I wrong? That it looks like the
Well, your dad lived.
That's the
up
back of
there,
the truck instead of
Didn't he
the
live
front.
off of Broadway or something?
Yeah, I can see what
in the front of the
Somebody
back of the truck looks like the front of the truck.
When he was a kid, he grew up by Van
I
Ass.
think they got it backwards.
Big.
Okay.
Yeah.
But somebody lived up off of Broadway.
But yeah,
I did when I was.
I don't know, and I don't think it's being released here in the States from what I've seen.
What the hell?
That it's like
Somebody maybe
like other countries first. Yeah.
Okay, South America.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to go up to the.
Have you done any traveling?
I thought maybe it was your dad's, but somebody had a record
back to Europe
collection.
or-
Never been to
Lived up-
Europe. I've been to Canada like 3 times in my
My
life.
dad had a best buddy.
And
Maybe that's what.
I've been
He
to
lived right behind the
Florida, been to California, been to Hawaii.
bank.
Washington.
Whatever. Yeah, so right behind.
Okay.
Yeah, John Shook. Who was a neat guy.
Weird
And like person, it's kind of
versions
I can afford to live in that house.
over there.
I don't know.
Like the Citron and stuff like that.
They just get different brands and then different models and different looking cars that are just made
Yeah, back when you could afford to get an apartment.
Well, like I think for a while, I don't know if
I
they
couldn't.
still do or not, but Volkswagen was making the original Beetle down in Mexico for
Absolutely.
decades after they stopped making them here.
Yeah,
So-
they had a factory down
John
there.
Shook was good. And then my dog, I was at his house.
That's not the new Beatles though.
The original from like '68.
I
Yeah.
over his back.
Well, the last of the
Who
original.
went fucking Jackie Chan?
Warriors and Stouts.
I'm gonna know.
Yeah, pick up semi trucks.
And it got out.
Trucks are like
Yeah, God, it just bounced right over his
They're taller. Yeah.
they don't have the big hoods like the
Like literally just
It's like
They're all like the next guys. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
Yeah, dogs. I'm not messing with
No,
you.
Peterbilt actually has the blunt front too, I think.
I think they make
But that's what Optimus Prime was. The original truck was, I think it was a Peterbilt.
Oh, it's the
Or
coin.
what's some of the other brands? It's not. It wasn't the Kenworth. The Kenworth all have the nose on the front. I don't think I've ever seen a Kenworth with a flat nose on the front.
I don't think so. I think Kenworth's kind of primarily that. I got a chance to go over to the factory a couple months ago, summertime, I guess, more than that. With the design, the manager of the design team that's designing all the trucks, and they do the clay models and everything, so I got to go see that. And they were having a friends and family meeting. So they had all these like historical Peterbilt trucks and I don't know, the new design of the electric truck and that sort of thing. Really futuristic stuff. And then the assembly line is like an assembly line. You got the paint, and it's all pieces that get put together like panels.
In a specific order.
And you like look around the factory and you're like, what the fuck is that? You can't even tell what that is. And then you look over there and like, oh, that's a truck. Oh, that's a truck. Oh, that's a truck. And as you walk around, it's like, oh, that's how they do that. They just basically just put parts on it as they move it, like cranes and stuff all around the factory. That was cool.
Did you go over to the paint booth area?
Yep. Yeah.
So,
why are you laughing?
Gary Ridgway.
Oh, I
Paint
didn't remember.
area.
He was a paint area?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
when I was in fourth grade,
or anything. I mean,
No, I didn't feel.
No.
I do think that I probably served Gary Ridgway at one point.
Did you?
Back in
Yeah,
95.
probably.
Yeah.
See, would have been. He lived up in SeaTac or something, didn't he?
I don't remember where he
Berrien or
lived.
SeaTac, something.
I think so. That guy was a nice guy.
I get because the wife works over there, so I give her a hard time. She talks about it. I'm like, Gary Ridgway probably came over and like touched your door handle and came into you. He probably sat at your desk.
You feel your energy? You give her shit like
I
that?
bet he partied walking by where you were desk.
the taint is there.
yeah, I told these guys a while back that when I was a kid, my school bus driver also worked for Kenworth. In '84, when BJ and the Bear was, I think, still on TV, she's like, my other job, I worked for Kenworth, and BJ and the Bear's truck came in to get refurbished on the inside. And I'm like, really? And I love that show. He's like, yeah, they had to refurbish the truck because the monkey destroyed the inside of the truck.
Yeah.
Because it was either poop everywhere or it was just clawing up shit.
Yeah,
Monkeys are difficult.
Monkeys are difficult.
First line of defense. Oh, yeah. Well,
But no, I just
old truckers never die. They just get a new Peterbilt.
Nope, right?
Yeah, baby.
Nope, yeah.
You knew that was coming.
I have never heard that joke before. That's funny though.
haven't?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that's a new one for me.
It's a good movie.
When I was a kid, I just, I loved just doing.
Me
this
too.
To make them talk.
I mean, my stepdad had a TV radio
Oh, I am
in
too.
the early '80s, late '70s, and we would talk to the truckers.
It's
Yeah.
that's my favorite. One of my favorite.
Convoy, the movie
Richard
Convoy.
Pryor
I remember it,
routines.
yeah.
That
Is the
that
Exorcist.
opening
That's so
scene
It's like
where
they wouldn't do the
Christopher
movie if the
Robinson
black
is going
people
down
in
that
there.
desolate
First time the
highway.
devil spoke.
He's,
Goodbye.
And then all of a sudden, do you guys remember the name of the guy that wrote the theme song to Convoy?
C.B. McCall.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just it gives me goosebumps, right? It's like, yeah, rubber duck,
Yeah.
10-4.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
Put the hammer down, right?
There was that moment in time when everything was about the CB radio and truckers, and everybody had the tricked out van or the tricked out truck.
My brother had the tricked out van.
The automobile, right? That was kind of a
74 to 80 or something.
Pontiac.
And then disco hit, fucking ruined it all.
Did it?
The '82 Trans Am
He and the Bandit, all that.
and the '82 Trans Am made a huge impact on television with Knight Rider.
And Quantum Leap, but Knight Rider was awesome.
It was Quantum.
Not Quantum Leap. There was. Do you guys ever remember that show? There was a show. I don't think it was called Quantum Leap. That's a different one.
Quantum Leap was the guy.
There was a guy that had a car. There was a car that could go straight down the road and then make an immediate left.
Automan.
Is that what that was called? I remember seeing a few episodes of
It
it.
only had 6 episodes.
Is that all it was? Okay. And it was this cool futuristic looking.
It was a Lamborghini Countach,
Okay.
black
Yeah,
with
you
like
know it then.
blue. It was basically they used the same video technology they used in Tron to make the car glow in the dark.
Yeah.
And even had a little cursor character too. Same. Basically, they lifted the whole thing. It was
From
It's
Knight Rider?
No, from Tron.
Oh, from Tron.
It lifted everything from Tron. The main actor was Desi Arnaz Jr.
Nice. Oh, man.
And I only know this because I recently, in the last 6 months, we looked it all up because I remember that show vaguely as a kid, thinking it was the coolest thing ever, and I only saw one episode because it didn't air everything. They canceled it almost immediately.
Yeah, was that kid going to become a bookkeeper, right?
And the guy who created that show was also the guy who gave us the Knight Rider and Battlestar Galactica, Glenn Larson.
Movie ever. Best show ever.
Glenn Larson.
Speaking of Desi Arnaz Jr., when I was a young boy coming home from school, they were shooting a movie on my street Burien with Desi Arnaz Jr. And we lived on a dead-end road, and then there was a little hospital, Stanring Hospital, across the street from there. And they shot a couple of scenes where they raced down our road, and I had to wait for one of those scenes to go by to get to my house. Nice. And then I got escorted to my house, and Desi Arnaz Jr. was there. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
I just want to make sure.
It's like,
Hey, Lucy! You know, it's like, that's right?
I would have been like, I liked your mom. So I wouldn't know what else to say. Your mom was funny. Not so much your dad.
Lucille Ball?
Yeah?
Man, what a comic genius.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Her and Carol Burnett, man.
Reason why I'm not trilingual.
Dude, that show had more
Tim
funny.
Conway?
Tim Conway. Okay, dude, Tim Conway alone. Some of the best scenes with Tim Conway were all improvised by him.
Oh, that guy's a killer.
I'll be right there.
Oh, yeah.
You remember him doing the Bud commercials? Less filling tastes great, less filling, and he was also the old man. He did the old man in those commercials.
I remember that now.
Or maybe it was either that or it was some other commercial where he played the old man. He was like, I'm hurrying as fast as I can.
Yeah.
And he was doing the thing, Dorf on Golf too, but he's doing the shuffle like you were just doing, but he was also like moving his body, the upper half of his body forward because he was trying to get there faster. His legs won't move as quickly as the top half of his body.
His physicality was brilliant. He made, what was Harvey?
Yeah,
Harvey Korman just died laughing every time
Harvey Korman just couldn't hold it together with that guy.
My favorite bit with those two was when Harvey was in the dentist's office and Tim was playing the dentist, and he stuck himself with the Novocaine and his leg went dead, and he was like trying to move his leg around.
I think I remember that.
And Harvey was trying to keep it together. He stuck his other arm, so his arm went dead. And yeah,
That's awesome.
you can find that on YouTube, I'm sure. What's even funnier.
He's important.
What's funnier than that is that Rowan Atkinson did a very similar bit with Mr. Bean, like trying to fix his own teeth.
Right.
Instead of having somebody else there to react off of, he was doing it himself. He was sticking himself in the hand or the leg with the Novocaine, and his arm was going dead. Yeah,
That's part of it, right?
I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, forever.
Where did you guys get your comedy inspirations from? Because each one of you has a comedy bone in you.
I mean,
For me, it was Steve Martin, like early grades.
Howie Mandel was like my first stand-up that I really liked.
Mandel?
I discovered him. His videos were at the library, and I rented one from the library and went home and just laughed.
He did the rubber glove on the head, right?
Yeah,
That was his
Well,
first kind of
and
thing.
the thing is, I saw an interview with him in the last couple of years where he said he had gloves on him all the time because he's always been a germaphobe, and he would always have gloves so he could keep himself
Oh, right. He
safe.
is a germaphobe, yeah.
And so, as a way to make people laugh, he would randomly pull out one of those gloves and pull it over his head and blow it up on his head until he
His trademark.
until he blew out one of his sinuses because of it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How about you, Charles?
I'd have to say, you guys were talking about Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett.
With shows like Three's Company, the slapstick.
Oh yeah.
Physical comedy.
John Ritter was fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. And then in my teen years, really morphed into the stand-up stuff. Like Michael said, Steve Steve Martin was like my first stand-up guy.
Really?
But then discovered Richard Pryor and George Carlin and
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Never a huge Eddie. I liked him, but never Richard Pryor.
TV specials, but I didn't have his records.
Yeah,
But I
TV
had,
specials for sure.
Yeah, and then Steve Martin records, Richard
Yes.
Pryor records, all hand-me-downs
Worn
from
those
the
out.
kids, right? AMFM from Carlin. But I really liked Steve Martin because it was just kind of obtuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just kind
He
of
would go in so many directions.
Yeah. I would say syndicated television was great because I also enjoyed like the early Bob Newhart show, and just did the deadpan. I mean, just the
Newhart.
Yeah.
Gee.
massive talent, massive talent. Brilliant.
I got my inspiration, I think, very early on from what's the muscular dystrophy telethon guy?
Oh, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, yeah. When he would just go into his like those voices and stuff, I was like, so I would do that too, and our gang. I would do Froggy's voice, and try to
cartoon stuff too.
try to replicate those sorts of things. But I really loved on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings watching
Looney Tunes.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
He was just one of my, because he was so you could just erupt into a thing, and I was like hyperactive. So.
And then just stupid stuff like the old fake the beach blanket bingo with the motorcycle gang. What was his name? Vaughn something. The gang leader.
From what?
Beach blanket bingo type movies.
Oh, I don't.
No, the Annette Funicello type movies.
Yeah, Frankie Valli and Annette Funicello and. They did all the beach movies back in the 60s, 50s and 60s.
I know that we defeated the Soviets with those moves. I'm telling it. He didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, Eric Von Zipper and his Rat Pack. Do you remember them?
No.
They were the foils or whatever?
Yeah, they were the total foils, and they were just...
Oh, sure.
He was the leader of the gang, but he was kind of had a Jerry Lewis, not as big time as Jerry.
Oh, I vaguely remember that guy. Yeah.
He would get his eye kind of twitching and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was always famous for. When Jim Carrey came out in Ace Ventura, in Living Color. My friend John Sanders called me and goes, "You got to turn on channel 13. You're live on the air right now." And he was doing like Fireman Bill or something.
Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
And he had his teeth up over his gums up over his lip,
Right.
or his lip over his gum.
I mean, it's incredible.
And you can't not laugh at this. This is like
It's comedy gold.
You try it.
I can't do that. I really can't do that.
I was joking.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm missing teeth. But the other characters, he did like the juice guy.
Yeah.
Carried it.
Yeah, and he also did the other one that he did was really funny is Venus de Milo, the bodybuilder Venus de Milo.
Where you wore the
small little
bikini,
right?
With the little
And the pigtails, and she was like this bodybuilder who used horse tranquilizers, and so whenever she laughed, she'd be whinny like a horse.
And that's the thing with that type of show. You have to have reoccurring characters for right? Or you just rent out for somebody else.
I still think the best characters that were done on the show were either Jim Carrey or it was Damon Wayans Sr. Because Junior's funny too, but his dad was way funnier, I thought.
Yeah, Junior wasn't on in Living Color.
No, he was probably a teenager or something at that point because he's like in his 30s or 40s now. But
did Carrey try out for SNL?
I think
would think with his brilliance, he would have gone to SNL versus
Living Color was a lot more edgier, though. Wasn't it?
yeah,
It was edgier, yeah.
it was definitely edgier.
And I
Definitely
think they
more
reached out
skilled.
to Jim Carrey.
I mean, Jim Carrey did host a few times, and the last time he was on there, he was doing his impression of Biden, which was hysterical.
Yeah, I don't think
His Biden was spot on.
there's ever been a blend on those guys.
But yeah, Living Color should come back. They should do a new version of that.
I don't think you can do it. Kind of like you can't do a new Ace Ventura. You know, it's in that moment that you are experiencing it. Because that's the fun.
I mean, he's kind of doing the Ace Ventura character as Dr. Robotnik. I mean, that character is really Ace.
In what?
In the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. The character he's playing in Sonic is basically Ace Ventura.
Yes, I haven't seen it.
All those are so funny. The new one just came out on demand, so you can watch it there. All three of them are on demand now. But no, these are the movies he was retired from acting. Somebody talked him into doing Dr. Robotnik for the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and they were
For the kids.
probably, yeah. His grandkids were probably like, "Do it, Granddad, do it."
I bet it's $20 million.
You know.
I've been manifesting coffee with Jim Carrey.
That'd be great. That'd be
I want to
wonderful.
sit down and have a cup of coffee with Jim.
I would absolutely love to chat with Jim.
Oh, it'd be great.
I would. I think I probably might have a fanboy moment and be like, you know, when Nature Call was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It's one of the few things that I share with a sibling. Me and my little sister went and saw that movie, and we laughed so hard throughout the whole movie. We recreated the whole movie after it was over, while we were waiting for our ride to go home.
Nice.
We were laughing from begin to end.
Joy.
And every time it comes on TV, my little sister calls me up and says, "Hey, we're watching Ace Ventura. I was just thinking about you." I was like, "Oh, it's on what channel?" So, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's
That's cool. That's a good memory.
Chicago.
Action.
And it's like, "Excuse me, your balls are showing." You know. You know. Oh, look, Dale.
Heartless Mind, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
I haven't-
I saw that for the first time this year or last year.
Isn't that the movie where it's like he's
Memories aren't much to
he's his reality is unraveling. Yeah, I've never watched it. Because I just
get
that's
rid of his broken heart.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, how far will he go to get rid of a broken heart?
yeah. I heard what it was about, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch
Because he
it.
knows that she's the one, right?
Yeah.
Which is a great idea for a
whole
movie.
factory smell. Oh,
Yeah.
factory scents. Once again,
Well, I mean, it's like
Get you every time.
smell that ass.
there's only a handful of movies I've ever seen that I've only seen once and I'll never see again. And I think if I ever was to watch that, it would only be the one time.
But it shows that he's capable of all sorts of stuff.
I heard he did really well as a dramatic actor in that one, though. So I had no doubt that he could do it. Some of the best dramatic actors started off as comedians. I mean,
Yeah.
Robin Williams was the same way, man. I mean, he was hysterical as all the things he did
Steve Martin.
before he did something serious. And when he was able to, when they were allowed him to do so, he knocked it out of the park. He got awards for it.
He did, yeah. He got Academy Awards for doing his parts, like in My Captain, My Captain.
The Dead Poets Society.
Poets Society.
I watched that for the first time last year, and that was an intense movie.
Did you guys ever watch H.R. Puffin stuff?
I did.
We talk about it often.
Banana Splits.
Yes,
and-
we
Yeah.
talk about it often.
And, Tongo!
I have all of those on my computer.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I have all of those on my computer.
Stacks and the
Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
Actually, all of the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff is on Tubi. You can watch all of it on Tubi.
And was that Quaaludes?
I think that was.
Right.
I would say it's a lot of weed and.
Today.
Oh man,
It's not
sure.
It's not harsh enough to be acid.
I would say it's a combination of weed and mushrooms.
But I think you're.
I think it was mushrooms. I think it was mushrooms.
What's the theater aesthetic?
I mean, a lot of the
Giant.
I think the HR Puffin stuff and Lidsville were the ones who were like a mushroom fever dream. Like shrooms were involved with both of those shows.
You know, I think there's some creativity, a connection to the source of all creativity is through the ability to
The Akashic Field.
connect. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can only see 1/10 of 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, blah blah blah, and the double slit experiment's real, and quantum entanglement, and all that stuff is real, and we're finding we're in a matrix of what's that, where things are all in the same.
Like a Mandelbrot set?
Yeah, what's that? We're living in something universe, a holographic universe.
That's really neat.
A holograph contains the whole,
It does.
right?
Yeah.
So that would
Any piece of it
explain
contains
the whole.
Yeah.
So that would explain the single electron, and then
Yeah. The single electron is annoying.
It's totally annoying. It's moving super fast.
Well, it just space isn't at all what we think it is.
No.
Right? So, because we really are just fields and all these other potential fields, and then occasionally something that appears to be slowed down enough to be solid, but isn't at all. Right?
So to conceive of all of this and to be in this plane of existence, I forgot what I was saying, but it had to do with HR puffin stuff or something like that, right? Oh, the Slee Snacks. That's right.
Yeah.
What was the name of the little boy and the little
Will and Holly.
the caveman.
Oh, that was Chaka.
Shaka.
Yeah.
Chaka. Yeah.
Creative, weird.
So I have all the City Marty Krofft shows on my computer at home.
The movie, if he stays behind to go to Chaka's village or something, right? Did one of the guys stay
In
behind?
the Will Ferrell version?
Yes.
Yeah. What's really funny is before he did the Land of the Lost movie, his character in the Jane Silent Bob Strike Back movie, his name was Marshall Will and Ollie. His first name was Will, and Ollie was his last name. Marshall Will and Ollie. It was a reference to Land of the Lost. Yeah. Marshall, Will, and Holly.
Yeah, I could see it's spawned from some sort of a connection to the ether.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a funny reference for Kevin Smith because he's a Gen Xer and probably remembers watching those shows really young, like we do. And I was trying to show you, but my computer's probably offline. But yeah, all of these Sid and Marty Krofft stuff around on it's either Pluto or TV. It's one of the two free streaming sites.
You know, I have a television in my house, in my apartment, and I have cable. It's basic cable. I don't get, I keep every once in a while I'll go on it. I don't watch TV ever really.
We don't have cable TV at home. We have over-the-air TV.
And I'm not missing fucking anything.
I watch all my stuff on the internet.
All those channels through the music channels, the Spanish channels. I get to there's some news. That sucks. And then I keep going. And there's just nothing on. There's so many fucking channels.
Everything is on extended cable. Nothing's ever on basic anymore. It's all on paid cable.
Right. That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah.
Everybody's bought up.
Or it's online. You'll have to install one of the streaming apps on your TV to watch the cool stuff.
Depending on what you're into.
Yeah.
If anything.
I found that back in the day that I ended up with Georgia, my oldest daughter. When Melinda and I were doing the whistle stop, we'd get home at midnight. We'd stay up, watch TV until 2 in the morning or whatever. And we finally just came to the conclusion, we need to get rid of our television. Television's the actual thing that's making us tired, is we're not going home and just getting to sleep. We're just going home and doing what we're programmed to do, is go on the TV. So we took our television and we put it out in the carport. So we didn't have a television in our house. If we wanted to watch something, we could only watch, it wasn't hooked up to cable or anything. We had a DVD player out there, and we as a family, Georgia included, when she was 2 or 3 maybe, we'd go watch a movie out there. And then we'd just go back inside and be done. Just watch one movie and be done. But no television at all for the first 13 years probably the kids were alive. And then we got a television finally at some point. That's what it is.
What brought on her love of movies and movie making then?
I don't know directly. I think it was just being around Melinda and I. Melinda and I are kind of creative, cinema. Yeah. I went to school for that at Seattle Central Community College. I went their applied video program. And
I looked at that.
Yeah. You remember that back in the day? Yeah. And so I would say I've got a pretty good eye when it comes to camera work and editing and that sort of thing. And she saw me do some of that probably.
Okay.
And I put a camera in her hand early on, a Canon 8E1.
Okay. Yeah.
Film
One of
camera.
my favorite cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one I grew up with.
Yeah.
My dad gave me his when he came back from Hawaii. He'd gotten in the surf, he got nailed. So he bought a new one and gave me the old one.
Nice.
And it wouldn't work anymore, is what he said. So I took it apart. I took the prism out of the top part. You look here and it goes down and looks out.
Yeah.
Right? And I played with that in the sun and everything. And then I got 3 books. I got Ansel Adams series, the camera, the lens, and the print.
Nice.
And I studied those. And those were my Bibles. And so I started to get the idea of like what it is. You know, this is the retina, the film. Right? This is the lens, the cornea. Right? And then I started to relate it to the eyeball, and I was just playing with that camera, the body, and I would, the shutter, that's the iris, right? The iris is the shutter. Did you fart?
I did over there.
And you brought it with you.
I tried not to.
I'm inside of you right now. It's delicious. Yeah. What did you have? Wait.
Roast beef.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. So that I put that in her hand,
Okay.
and I showed her how to
So it
hold
started with photography and then sort of moved to film.
Yep. And then she started to get like into editing things on her laptop. We got her an iPad or iMac or whatever it's called. Or an Apple product of some kind. And then she started editing things for her own. She would go take pictures, she would edit things together, and then she would edit it with the music, and it was always just some sort of moving, feeling, wonderful, delightful experience to watch her stuff.
Nice.
And so she decided she wanted to go to school. And her claim was, or is, I'm going to be the youngest female director to win an Academy Award.
Nice.
That's a great idea.
I think that
How old is she now?
She's 27.
Okay. What's her competition on the? What's the youngest?
I've never
Is it
looked.
Catherine Bigelow?
I've never looked that up.
I don't know.
But yeah, maybe look it up and see.
But that's only because she got fast tracked because she was married to Deuce Bigelow.
The human gigolo.
She had the
Deuce
inside
Bigelow.
scoop.
Deuce Bigelow, the human gigolo.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.